Utre Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome, my stars, to the Unknown Prophet Daily Tarot Readings. I come here every day between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't do the weekends, guys. I'm taking this weekend off to work on my deck, Full Tilt Kitty. I'm going to be doing all of the entries for the new version of the wording, okay? Now, I've decided to do something, okay? We have 3 days left, okay? 3 days left for me to complete my Kickstarter campaign. As a reward for you even believing in me in the first place, I am now putting all 10 of my original card decks that are not a part of this one that you guys get read by every day. This deck won't change, but my elemental cards, all the other cards will be given away. So now you have a 1 in 10 chance to win one of those art cards as well. The only way that you can win that contest is to be either a Kickstarter backer or a Patreon member and have entered the $3 giveaway. Now that is all you have to enter. That's $3 for you to enter a one-of-a-kind chance to earn a signed copy. One of the cards will be signed with a personal message to you on like the back here, so to you as well, so that you'll have that. The deck will be signed, sealed, of course. It's up to you whether you want to open it or not. So maybe you buy one for collection, one for random use or whatever you feel up to it. Okay, so just so you guys know what you're going to get. And you also get the shipping and handling. That's what you get with the Kickstarter campaign. So that's what you get. You get a 1 in 10 chance of getting one of those art cards. And then we also have the same deal on the Patreon, only you have to buy a $3 chance to do that. Now, you can buy as many entries as you want now, and if you win more than once, because I plan on giving at least 2 of those decks away on a Patreon, and then I'm going to be giving away about 5 of them to really close friends who are just streamers of mine, and then they're going to be, so that means we've got 7, so that means I've got 3 extra cards here that we're talking about that I wasn't planning on doing anything with, that will be extra, like in-stream kind of giveaway moments. So, Jew Bears, thank you. And I'm so sorry about yesterday. Just as you were coming in, I was getting ready to raid out yesterday, and my battery had been drained. All sorts of fears by the time you popped in. So I apologize for not getting to you. I usually will, when someone enters the queue, I'll say, all right, let's go. But I'm fresh. I'm ready to rock and roll. You're the first person in here, so you get free, for all the energy and then some. So, you know what? And in case you guys haven't been here before, I do use my custom-made homemade deck called the 5 Paths Tarot. I am currently trying to get this published right now. Let me adjust the camera per normal, because, of course, it doesn't like to stay in one place. No, that would be okay. So I digress. So, throw me your numbers, Drew Bear. Oh, wait, let me show you. Watch. I gotta do something here real quick. You're right, I forgot my sign. Come on, turn on already. There we go. There we go. Oh, here, let me show you this bad boy, okay? Here we go, Jabears. This one's for you. How do you like the new background? Huh? Pretty nifty, huh? Okay. So, anyway, so now that we've got, yeah, it's a sign. I wonder what it says. Anyway, so, nice sign. Yeah, like I said, when I got my money, I came into a very big amount of money about a couple months ago. We did a lot of repair work on the house. We got a lot of bills paid off. Then I spent a lot of it on friends, helping some people out who I just wanted to show appreciation to, and even did some giveaways live on here. You weren't here for that, I don't think. And then we got a whole new streaming setup and gaming PC at the same time. So we got a lot of fun new toys like lighting systems, signs, blah blah blah. Because I wanted a more professional stream, and this is what I want to do the rest of my life. If I someday I say I'm done with doing readings, I still have this as my symbol to myself, because this is the last name I will ever take as a magical person. I will be the unknown prophet for the remainder of my days. I know that much at least. I will not go through another major shift or change in that magical name. Will be it for me. So whenever you're ready there, throw me your numbers there, my friend. And if you have questions today, please come on in and welcome on in to that as well. Yeah, the death mat. This is actually from my merch store. So you can actually buy this mat from my merch store. I have another one out there as well that's a different design, I think still, but you can buy this from my merch store. You can also buy a coffee mug and stuff like that. Here, let me show you the coffee mug there. You know, I got a couple coffee mugs, t-shirts and stuff. And I plan on getting this sign or this symbol with my face on it on a t-shirt soon. So, you know, and these cards are already pre ready to rock and roll. So we're going to do your 2 official shuffles starting now. General love reading for you. Here we go. 1, 2, and we already have God cards popping out for you. 2 God cards, in fact. And then we have the second card. 1 and 2. So we need to know what is coming our way for love, right, you bears? We're ready for the shift and change to finally happen. First of all, welcome on in, Indigo. Welcome in, first time chatter. Thank you for coming in and choosing me. Sit back, relax, enjoy with this reading that we are just starting. You'll get the idea of what we're here and all about when we're ready to do the explanation part of the thing. Otherwise, you can look up in my little pinned message there. It pretty much explains how everything works here. So if you are wanting that, and these are blunt in your face kind of tarot readings, I don't sugarcoat a damn thing. And if you don't want that, leave, run away now, because you're not going to get that from me. Okay. I will tell you what I feel you need to hear and what you need to know today. I use my intuitions. I want to say my standard disclaimer before I begin. I am not a doctor. I am not a lawyer. I'm not a professional of every kind. The only degree I hold is a high school diploma and a credential from a ministry I bought online. Okay, I became a part of the life-giving Universal Life Church so I could become a minister in the Wiccan faith, which wasn't allowed at the time. Okay, so now that the Wiccan faith is a little bit more prevalent in the world, it's a little bit better for that. So welcome on in. That's kind of a little bit there here for Discord announcements. You've seen a couple of times from the Discord announcements. This is my first time. Well, I'm glad to see you popped on in and kind of gave me the old checkout. I go through the self-promotion channel every once in a while, and I see if anyone's posting on my channel. If someone posts in there, I'm going to check their stream out. When people do it in their own streams, that's kind of like your job to go say, do I like this person enough they want to support their friends and other friends of theirs, blah, blah, blah. That's how we build community here. So, let's get into Jubear's love reading, though, because they did come here for that today. So that's what you are doing now, Jubears, is the thing I'm feeling from you today. A lot of where your energy is at is, yes, you are finally ready to receive that love. And there's a story I want to tell a little bit later in stream. So I've got a very major, big story I want to kind of share with you later. But that's going to be kind of my gift to you, just like this new relationship or new love thing that you want to happen is going to be your gift to you. We're not trying to find the person to fix us anymore. We're done doing the healing work we need to do as much as we can do at this moment, at least, okay? We know there are still some little things we want to work on. Everyone has those. But for the most part, we're ready to say, I don't need someone to fix me. I want someone to share my journey with me. So we're working on the opening up our energies to receiving that. Now, be prepared, because you've been used to it one way for a long time. Now you're going to go from one energy to a different kind of energy. People think that happy, good, beautiful, bountiful energy doesn't overwhelm you at times. Ask any lottery winner if they don't have that excitement in their heart. It's about the money, yes, but it's about the thing that happened to them. It was a surprise that happened in the first place. A 1 in how many chance of you actually hitting 6 numbers and a special red ball number? You know how fucking rare that really is? I mean, they had to make it easier for people to win. That's how hard it is to win that game, okay? And, you know, They had to give you ways to multiply your winnings and give you an extra encouragement to come in and buy that lottery ticket. Well, you're buying your own little lottery ticket here, and you have yet to see if the numbers have come in for the thing you've always wanted. You know, the goal and end of the dream, right? You have an idea of what your person is gonna be like. I don't think you have a specific person in mind. You have a energetic energy you're looking for, a personality you're looking for, maybe some physical attributes here and there, some key ones at least that are just what you're attracted to. You're always going to go who you're attracted to, but now you're trying to match the soul to a body rather than a body to a soul. Right? You know what I'm saying? I didn't fall in love with this girl because she was pretty. I fell in love with her because she was beautiful in here and I loved the person she was. We are learning how to bask in the sun again and getting back around those community members, those people who are your support network, who are there to help push you out of the comfort zone you're used to, who are going to call you on your shit and tell you when you're being a dumbass about it and taking a little bit too long to get off of the horse and get back on the horse, you know, and maybe move on from some of the old past trauma so that you can honestly move on and move forward rather than take it with you this time. You know, but that means you have to be just like a sunflower who sits in that field all day long following the sun around, because that sunflower gathers up all of those rays so that when it gets back to that point where the sun finally sets, it takes just a tenth of that energy to get back to the spot where it began. The rest of it is used for growth, for making those seeds go out into this world, making sure that it has friends along with it along the way. Just like you are doing now, is finding that positivity and getting back around these people and these communities and these things that are seemingly feeling more like this is the place I want to grow that love. This feels more my vibe. This is more my being. This is usually who I am and what I want to find. I've got a specific, like I said, feeling in mind, but I'm not really looking for body besides gender and sexual orientation, the important crap that you know you're going to be looking for, because we all have our preference of whatever, you know. But now you're being asked by the universe to do this. Jew bears, they want you to stand in front of them and give them your list of attributes of the kind of person you want to fall in love with. And then you have to start to believe that you are able to receive that in your life, that you are ready for that list to come full tilt kitty, to blow you out of the water, to surprise you even. Because you're never going to match that list 100%, never. But you're going to get about 90% of the way there. And then once you finally stamp your foot to the ground and claim your power and say, I am already worthy of that kind of love, that love has already gone, oh, shoot, there's Jew Bears, let's go. You know, they've already started walking towards you. They've already begun their journey towards you already. No more self-love. We don't need to go through that anymore. We're ready for real, true, honest, open, honest relationship kind of love. Not the backstabby talk behind my back. I don't know you, you don't know me. Fakey, fakey, fakey relationship. And is he serious about you? Well, you have a brain in there somewhere and you already know the answers to these questions. Of course, he's serious about you. He wouldn't be with you if he wasn't serious. He would have been gone a long time ago. And you know that. If he didn't want to be there, he wouldn't be there. It's a slow burn. The greatest romantic stories in the whole existence of all of time are the slow burners. Ask anybody who's ever been to a romantic comedy where they go, oh, for the love of God, really? They had to go through the silly adventure to fall in love? Well, okay. Are you going to start to look at the situation you're in as being one of positivity and start to see it as that relationship that can be that place where you can grow and make it be what you want it to be, or not? I mean, are you serious about him? Are you willing to take the chance he rejects you? Are you willing to take the chance he someday falls out of love with you? Are you willing to take the chance that you will go through the hardest, most hurtful, painful things with him and still want to love him? Are you willing to go through the worst day of your life, on the worst moment of your very own personal journey, having to sacrifice every last thing that you have for him in order to just say, I love you, so you can get his attention? I mean, how far are we really ready to go? Because it looks like you're the one who isn't shining the right kind of light on her world. He might have been ready a long time ago. He's been waiting for your ass. You know what I'm saying? And I think you kind of know that. You know? Because you want to be in this relationship so bad that you're not giving it the greatest part of a love story, which is the story part. If my wife hadn't stalked me for 3 months when I didn't even know she was there in the store, I had such man blinders on that I couldn't even see this incredibly beautiful soul flirting with me for 3 months. Okay, she almost gave up on my ass. The last time before she was gonna give up on me was the time she said, this is it. If he doesn't react to this, I give up. That I was my last shot. She was pulling out every single female flirting trick she had in her female flirting book. Okay, and she made me see her soul, not her body. Her body, she had short hair. She had almost a buzz cut. I thought she was a man for 2 of those months. or someone who was in transition or something like that at the time. We laugh about it now, but you know what I'm saying? So just remember, this is a part of your love story. What is happening now? One day you will look back and go, oh my God, can you remember the time we were like that? And now we'll laugh our butts off at how ridiculously stupid we were, that we've learned how to be so much better as a couple now. You know? And then your God cards come a flying by and say, well, if that wasn't enough for you, I got some more answers for your ass. So do you want to see your God cards for today, or do you want? Now, since you haven't been here before, Indigo, what God cards are is I have a certain way of shuffling the deck and stuff like that. When cards pop out of the deck during my shuffle, it's an answer to your from your higher power. You've been looking up to them and saying, hey, can you please give me an answer to this question I've been having in my life? They come to say, hey, I want you to see these cards, but I'm not going to sugarcoat this one. I'm going to kick your spiritual ass during these cards. So they're my fair warning. I won't tell you unless you're really, really ready for them kind of cards. And I always try to ask my people if they're ready first before I go, boom, and show them what they, oh my dear God. Jew bears. The universe is crying out, and exclamation points are flying in my head right now. And the thing they really want to say is pay attention, because you really need to hear this. You need to celebrate your life, not wonder what you're missing. Start celebrating what you fucking have. Can I get the wake-up call now? Knock, knock, knock. This is your wake-up call. It's time to wake the fuck up. It's time to stop living in the misery and start to celebrate. The cauldron of change is at your feet. You're being asked to put in what you want into that soup. You're getting friends to help you. You're getting people to help you do this together. You're getting all of this beautiful, bountiful help. You have so many reasons to celebrate. And what do you choose to do with your time? Bitch, piss, and complain and moan. You know what you really need to hear today is the message of my mother. And maybe you haven't heard it for a while, but I think it's been a minute or two. Like a gardenia rose, you need to start to weave your life in balance. You need to start to weave your life and give as much as you get back in return, and accept nothing else. This time, if you're going to make it happen, we are going to do this together. There is no more I. There is team. Now, I want to have my own I thing, but I'm not going to share everything with you, but I'm going to share everything with you because I'm going to be open and honest enough to do that with you. I'm going to share the dirtiest, nastiest, most cruelest, meanest things I've ever thought in my little head of mine. I'm going to get every last little thing off of my shelf. If I'm going to start back at it, and I'm going to say this to you, none of this is important to me anymore. I forgive it all. Now we got to start back at next step, right? Just like a gardenia rose has to learn how to weave its way through all the other plants and take as much as it gives. Because if it doesn't do it the right way, its own plant dies, itself dies. So yeah, you want to have that partner, you want to have that person you can depend on, you want to have that thing and that being and thing that you are working on in your life. But until you self-love yourself enough to say, I deserve that I'm worthy of that I'm ready for that kind of love, we are never going to accept that the healing we need back in return is that equal amount. So don't expect anything less than equal amounts of love, partnership, and everything that comes with it in return. You got to become that powerful force that nothing can ever break apart again. You deal with the shit now, you won't have to deal with it later. It's rather, let's get it all out, and then you got to be as open-eared and open-eyed and open, taking it all in, and not take it personally when he's got to come after you and tell you the things that you need to hear. You know what I'm saying? Because there's going to come that moment where you're going to come to a little bit of a mini argument moment, but it might be the last argument you have for a very long time, because it's going to be, that's how we work things out more than I'm angry at you, you're angry at me. Yeah, some mean words may be exchanged here, right? I didn't mean to add with, okay? But... And I'll get to you in just a second there, Alyssa, because I'm just finishing up this last thing that she needs to hear today. And I think you know what's coming, Jew Bears, but I really want you to hear me when I say it. Okay, and I'm going to do this a little bit differently than I normal, because I don't think you need the yelly, screaming Josh today. I think you just need to open up your ears and really hear the message of my highest power that I believe in, my mother in heaven, my mother in the ethereal realm, my mother earth, every mother I can ever think of, okay? These are the things you need to remember during this time. Number one, you have the power to control this situation. You get to decide how it's going to be. You have to believe in yourself enough to say, I have the ability to make this become what we want it to be. It may take work. It may take life. But a real relationship is work. A real relationship never stops being work. The moment it feels comfortable, safe, and warm, spice it up. Do something different. Talk to your partner. The moment it starts to feel stagnant, old, and cold, start to date your partner again. Start to go out to them. Remember the days you fell in love. When you are down in the depths and you don't know how to bring yourself up, tell your spouse about it. You let them know what's really going on instead of hiding away all of that. Number two, you are loved by this person. Stop questioning whether you're loved by this person. You know you have more love from this person than you could ever possibly imagine. Why are you sitting there questioning it all the damn time? Why can't you just accept what you're being given rather than sitting there going, what don't I have? I mean, really, how much more gravy do you need it to be happy? Really, you know? And the last and final thing is, it's time for you both to carve your own destiny together. You can't do this alone. It's time to carve your own damn destiny already. Stop letting everybody else and anybody else tell you how to do this, including me here, and do it your guys' way. Do it what feels good and right for you. And believe in yourself and give into your creative nature, give into your growing nature, and give as much as you take and take as much as you give. And this will start to resolve, but you have to start to do the work. You too have to admit, I did things wrong here too. And the only way it will move forward is if we come to an understanding that we've both made bullshit, dumb mistakes, but we don't want this to end. We want it to be better. We want it to be whatever the case may be in your thingy, right? So now I'm going to do a cleansing shuffle for Is a Girl. Welcome in, Is a Girl, and this is your first time in, I believe, first time chatter, first time reading, and just in case you were here for all of it, I'm saying it again. This is how my channel works. I will ask you to pick numbers for me. Please pick a number 1 through 10 of how many times you want me to shuffle this deck for you. And then I need you to pick a second set of numbers 1 through 52. That's where your answers will be in my deck. Now, when cards pop out during the shuffle, as long as it's under a certain amount of cards, those are your higher power trying to tell you seriously kick your ass, you need to hear kind of answer cards. Any other questions? Let me know. I see I already saw your numbers. I was just explaining it for the person below. So you said 16, 16 to begin with. Now you've changed it to 8 times 16 shuffles. Which one is it? Just to clarify so I don't do the wrong shuffle here. And let me finish my cleansing shuffle while I'm doing that here. Just to clarify which one it is so I don't do the wrong one for you. And thank you very much for the subscribe. I've been subscribed before. Yeah, I gave a bunch of gift subs away when I got all of that money. And then I had a couple people do it for me as well. So, and then I helped a lot of people out. Have they come back? No, and I really don't care if they ever do because I love them. And they will always be in my heart. And they deserved every last thing I did for them. So, I know it will come back to me in more beneficial ways. It may not be monetary, but that golden coin in my head, yeah, I'm ready for it. So, okay, where were we at? You said it had to be 1 through 10 for the first time number. Oh, you're right. You're right. See, my brain sometimes doesn't even work a little bit for me. Hello, my name is Josh. I'm almost 50 years old, and I do have some brain memory issues right now. Here we go with your numbers, 8 and 16. I just don't know how to read. 1, 2. That's brilliant. 3, 4. That's about right for this for my stream. You know, that's about right for me. Okay, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we want to know about a general, or did you have a question? Relationship. Okay, relationship. Got you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. I can feel your anxiety and worrying. Holy shit, are you worried? Why are you so worried about it? Oh my dear God. Hoofty. Okay, the second I started pulling your cards, I'm starting to feel this very anxious. I don't know what to expect, kind of. I'm almost worried about the surprise of whatever may be coming here, but something feels like it's heading my way, and it's like I can't break fast enough kind of a deal. Okay? Do you know that feeling that's opposite of that? Do you remember what that felt like? When you felt at home with yourself, when you felt more at peace with who you were as a person, when you didn't question it so much, when you didn't question what you guys were going through, what you're continually going through. And it seems like these issues haven't gone away over time. We've tried to do the repair work. We've tried to do the work. We've tried to do everything we can to repair this. So what aren't we doing that we need to start doing? Well, we need to start to find that home within ourselves, because there's a little bit of our own shit being not taken into account here. You've got a little bit of your own shit. I should say a lot of shit. You've got like laundry on the floor in rooms somewhere, and he's got a laundry list too to deal with as well. And that you have been trying to find this feeling of home back with them again. You're not like a renewal of relationship, more of a, why can't we just be okay with the way things are? Why can't things be more like that kind of a deal? And trying to reassess what those feelings are for you and what they mean for him. So that's kind of what you've been dealing with up to this point. Now, just like you have started to realize, even with the last reading that I just gave, you know that this can't keep existing like this anymore. We can't keep having the same bad relationship skills. We can't keep doing the same bad crap to one another. We can't keep hating the stuff we can't change about the other person. I know you want to change him and you want to make him a better man. How about if you just love him for exactly for who he is for a change, rather than trying to change him into something he doesn't want to be anyway? Can you fall in love with his soul again? Can he fall in love with your soul again? Can you tie your souls together so that they never go apart ever again? And are you willing to do the work? And are you willing to do what it takes to make this keep going? And are you willing to fight for it? Is he? Do we have to have this conversation again? Or is it time for us to realize we need to exist as something new and different? We can't keep taking the same bad crap with us. Like I told the other person, you kind of have to hold each other to task a little bit, but you both have to learn to be more active listeners with one another, because you're telling each other stuff, but you're not really hearing the other person sometimes. And how can you get a better idea of how you want things to go when the communication isn't really working right now? You know, it's all about what you see it in your head. The best manifestation rule, and this is for anybody out there who wants to manifest something in their life. The rule of manifestation is this. First, you must have a clear idea. And I mean a clear idea of what you actually want. What does happy look like? What does his happy look like? What does your happy look like together? What do we need to remove from the equation? What do we need to add back into the equation? Now let's get an idea of how we want this to look before we even start the new ball rolling. Then all we have left to do is accept ourselves for who we truly are as people, reaching that maturity level to say, you know what? This old crazy man who I'm in love with, who drives me up a wall, constantly makes me laugh and giggle, but sometimes makes me wonder what the heck goes through his head. I'm telling you, you're not the only woman in this world to think these thoughts. You're not the only person in a relationship to think these thoughts. You're not the only person in the entire universe to think these thoughts. Okay, even bees have these thoughts. Okay, and they're creatures of pure instinct. Well, part of this is your pure instinct telling you what you've been trying to tell yourself for a while. And the great oak part of both of yourselves, you have to start to acknowledge that you aren't broken. You are who you are. You can always become someone better. You can always improve. But until you take away the broken self aspect of both of your idiot selves sometimes, and reopen these lines of communication, and this is your biggest problem in the relationship you're in right now as a girl, is it's no physical communication, no mental communication, no spiritual communication. How can we effectively make this become a better thing if we're not even talking about the real shit? Or if we're not even sharing through those grapevines? Do you think grapevines, or do you think the earth cares about what went into the earth before it went there? Do you think it sits there and goes, I want myself a good tasting mineral today, and puts it in its mouth? No, we do that. The earth goes, it's all there. Now I give it to you to take from me. It gives constantly. It gives beyond all giving. It's the ultimate giver. Right? But until it does also have the ultimate take. And you got to think about it. The ultimate give, the ultimate take. So what physical things can you both start to do better to enhance and make the intimacy more powerful? It's not about the I love you all the time. It's grabbing their face and saying, I love this wrinkle. I love this breaking your nose. I love that mole on your cheek. I love it when you wake up in the morning and you look like this. Okay? I love it when you do something incredibly stupid and I have to sit there and watch you do it. Hey, your best tansy just rated our ass. It's a Ramsey Ted raid. Welcome in, my baby. There's my baby streamer right there. And she gave me the best advice today. She gave me a good advice today. She said, take your person by the their face and start to tell them all of that which makes you remind them why you fell in love with them in the first place and why you still look at them and love them. Why do you still do it? And maybe that opens up both of your hearts enough to start redating and start to get back into dating each other. Because you have to be a constant dater with your spouse. You have to constantly keep things moving and growing in that positive direction. It's never gonna stop. It's always gonna be work, but it doesn't have to be hard work. Okay? So grab your, pull up those big girl panties or jock straps or whatever the case may be. And as a girl, I know what you're gonna say now. I'm a girl, but you know what I'm saying. It's it's all about it's all about that you have to take a better ownership of your relationship, and it's not just on a you thingy here. Okay, you're both doing this to one another a little bit. So I just think if you have that, you know what, me and my wife, we do this. I want to give you one of the relationship tools. Me and my wife, because we've been married for 18 years. Was it always honey, milk, and butter? No, it wasn't always honey, milk, and butter. We've had about 5 major fights our entire marriage. I know you're all saying, what, only 5? And I'm telling you, only really 5 major fights, maybe even less than that, because my memory is like, what I might have considered an argument, she considers us a slight disagreement, so on each end's a little bit there. And we share a soul. We share memories. We share the psychic shit. So it's not like I can hide from this woman's thoughts all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? So, and Indigo, I know you gave me your numbers already, but I got a page up to see those. So I just wanted to finish what I was saying to Is a Girl here real quick, because I think it will help her. And the thing that we did, right, is we used this technique. Whenever we needed to say something that we didn't know the other person would receive very well, we went big ears. Okay, we said, I need you to use your big ears. I just need you to hear me. Don't take what I'm saying personally per se, but there may be some emotions I have to get out here, and it may hurt you. Now, I'm going to allow you the freedom to be affected emotionally, but I'm just trying to share what's going on here and making sure you understand exactly what I'm feeling. And it kind of feels like that's the thing you guys really, if you guys did that, and started to practice that a little bit more, just that little bit of active listening and talking to each other, just a little bit every day. One good conversation today is all it takes to keep your marriage healthy, guys. One I love you a day, one reminder of why that love is important, what your couple goals are, what your couple dreams are, what your own individual dreams are. And I'm just saying that that's all yet to come to you if you allow it to. You just have to allow that space to happen. So I hope that helped you in some way, shape, or form today. Is a Girl, I don't think there's a loss of hope for this gentleman. I just think you guys got to do some much needed talking. That's all I really think it matters to you. And Indigo, I'm going back in. I'm going back up, and I'm going, where are her numbers? Where are her numbers? Where? 8 and 16 times. Okay. So 8 and 16, and I guess I should have looked at your question if you had one too. I was up there. 8 and 16, number, no, that's not your numbers. Is a Girl. Can you please just redo it again? 9 and 23. So, okay, that I was like, and I'm going to do a cleansing shuffle for you. And just going to cleansing shuffle for you as well there, Indigo, so you can get the kind of reading you guys need here. Now, you've already told me your number, so I don't need to do that. All right. Give me a second to have a sip of my coffee, so I can kind of fix the groggly voice a little bit. I messed up my pace. Well, you fix it. Let me know when it's right. I will give the 9 and the 23 a shuffle and see what happens here. Okay? Yeah, well, Doc, just enter the queue and I'll get to your question as much. That's why it's open. It's open for a reason. It hasn't closed yet, so get your ass in there. My energy's just fine right now, so. Okay, about a special friend. Okay, you just want to know what's going on here? So, okay, here we go then. These are your 9 official shuffles then, Indigo. 1, 2. And I try to show you guys your shuffle so you know you got the actual shuffle you got. 3, 4. Okay, we got God cards. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops, I went too many. Well, it happened. You got an extra shuffle out of me. I do a reverse shuffle, but that doesn't exactly work. So we're going to end there. Do you want me to adjust or reshuffle or anything? Are we good? I'll take that as we're good. So we're going to go 23 cards in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, and 23rd card. And you know what? I apologize. Sometimes my brain doesn't always work the best, but sometimes intuitionally it just happens for a reason. So don't take it as a bad thing. I usually take it as a good thing. It means the gods are really working to help you out today. So what do we need to know about you and your special person or friend or the thing that you're trying to seek answers for today, right? And we do have some things to talk about indeed. We have a 2 God card message for you after this reading, Indigo. And don't worry, Josh, that happened for a reason. I'm not worried about it. I know things happen for a reason. I don't ever question that. So, that's not something I tend to do anymore. Especially with all the abundance and crap that's been coming my way for a little bit. It's kind of one of those things. And Sweaty or Nicole and Duck, I do have a story I want to share and stuff like that, but I don't sweat that shit anymore. So I used to sweat it all the time, and now I'm like, hey, whatever. Okay, it happened. Now, we want to get back to your special someone and discover what you need to understand about what's going on. So, what you have to realize is that you still haven't tapped the fullest potential of this whole situation, that you're still like that little bud on a vine that's still trying to take in the light a little bit stronger every day, a little bit stronger every day. And as it starts to brighten up, those leaves start to become brighter and brighter. Well, then it says to itself, I need something extra here as well. Allow this emotional energy to pour over me as well. So not only are you not both being a little bit stubborn and pig-headed here by not realizing the other person has way more potential or room to grow, rather than thinking that's all you're capable of. And you both have this I don't believe in you kind of aspect of each other. Okay, I don't know what happened there was some distrust or something that happened that kind of broke trust there. I don't know if it was a relationship necessarily like girlfriend cheating or boyfriend cheating, but it was definitely like a lie or a omission or something that they didn't give in and stuff like that. And then now you're kind of trying to reach it back to center and try to grow together again, like I've been saying. And now you haven't really realized the full potential of what they can become, because they have recognized some of their bad patterns. So have you, and you're still trying to grow together at the same time. You kind of both are playing the please help me fix me game a little bit. So you're both trying to fix each other through each other. We're all trying to fix yourselves while trying to fix everybody else at the same time. There's a lot of pots in the kitchen here, okay? And the potential you have yet to realize is that you have to start to take in that positiveness and say can be a good thing. We have to allow this emotional rain to wash over us, not only to cleanse us of the emotions we have been holding back, but to feed us and allow us to grow even further. Because what does that rain do? Washes off all the crap. It goes back down into the soil. That soil gets soaked up by all the other things that tree has to inhabit. Your leaf opens just that much wider, and then eventually, poof, you guys become a leaf. And that means you guys are sharing that journey together, doing all the right things. So you're setting yourself up for a little bit of success, but being kind of stubborn, a little bit too stubborn with it. You need to stop looking at it as what we did wrong and what we can start doing right. That's what has to end. You did this wrong, I did this wrong, war between you two. You both have to do a little bit of the I forgive you, you forgive me kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? time to open up. And if we've already started this process, we have to allow it time to soak in, okay? That may mean it takes maybe a year for us to regain what we lost here, but we're not regaining what we lost. That's the important part. We don't want what was to come back into our life. We need to begin again, realizing that we can't be defensive people anymore around one another. We keep putting up the sharp daggers and saying, we don't want to be hurt, we don't want to be hurt. And we both do this to one another. And then we both try to give each other loving, embracing hugs while the daggers are out, sticking into our skin, going, ow. Okay? But if we're going to be so defensive in the goddamn first place, then what was the point of falling in love? I mean, wasn't it all supposed to be designed to melt these defenses down? Shouldn't we be warming our hearts rather than that? Remember what happens when you take down the defenses? You see the heart of the matter? Okay? Because now we have let down the guard. Now we have been vulnerable with one another. Now we are ready to stop ignoring the messages that we are trying to get across. Well, either you got to send one last message saying, look, you have 1 week to get back to me or not. I'm moving my ass on after that week. If I move on before you come a chance to come back and check on my ass, then you lost out. Guess what? The other guy or girl may be luckier, okay? But you have to start to stop that kind of thinking and start thinking about getting in this car together. You're going on this journey together, just like you would take turns on a long road trip from coast to coast. You're both going to have to take turns in the car from time to time. You're both going to navigate from time to time. You're both going to say, we need to stop for gas. We need to stop for a bathroom break. We need to obey the rules of the road so we don't get tickets along the way. Oh, watch out for the pothole along the way. Did we want to carry all of that old bad, we got the rusty old trailer in, we're going to carry all of the broken down furniture with us really to our new home? Or are we going to leave it the fuck behind and just say, you know what, we need some new shit. It may cost us a little bit to get that shit, but what are we taking with us in that fucking thing? No, roll down your windows, put the pretty music on, enjoy the wind in your hair, ask your spouse for a drink, give them a beef stick or whatever in the mouth. Whenever it's your turn, it's your turn. Whenever it's his turn, it's his turn. But it needs to start to be a journey together rather than a journey apart. And that's kind of where I feel that you need to be more driven on, is making this a journey with rather than a journey. Okay. I want to talk about this again. Okay. With your energies, what I'm feeling right now, Indigo, is right now you have a very power over relationship rather than a power with kind of relationship. You're both very headstrong, very independent, very bullheaded, very in your own ways kind of thinking. You both are trying to overpower each other constantly when you should be working with each other, not overpowering either one of those, and then every once in a while giving way to letting them have the power over you while reminding you are going to someday have that power again over them. But you're going to stay at this level, power with, more than anything. So that's what you need to start to work on, is moving from this power over to the power with portion of it, and being okay with the power under once in a great blue moon. And both of you have to be better at that. So that's kind of my advice for you, Indigo. And we do have a 2 God card answer for you today. So buckle up, Buttercup. If you thought the last one was intense, this one's even harder. I already feel them. This is your butt kick moment. So if you want to run away now and you want to say, that's enough for me today, I don't really want any more information, this is your chance to run. So do you want to see your God cards? Yay or nay? Whichever the case may be, I'm perfectly fine with. And then we will go on to the next reading, which will be Sweaty. Sweaty is next in line while I light up my cigarette. You'd get your butt kicked 1,000 times. If it meant not losing that, remember that statement right now, because 1,000 butt kicks are coming your way, but not all of them will be bad. Because it's about time you guys claim your power together. You can't claim your power alone any longer. It has to be me and my wife, we have something together. We don't talk a lot about it here on stream. But she's the stone of magic. I'm the stone of freedom. From our previous coven lives, we gained opportunity to imbue a certain stone that brought our spirituality out within ourselves. She had to relearn how to find the magic within herself. I had to relearn how to find the freedom within myself. And we both had those lessons to learn. So when we became a couple, that was our major thing. We are now magical freedom. This is the power we believe in. There is no hate here. There's only perfect love, perfect trust, perfect everything. There is no mistake here. Even a mistake is not a mistake here. We had to claim our power together and decide to start walking that path together, because it doesn't matter who's leading or who's following. We need to claim it and be sure about what we do want. Either we have to say we're ready to fix it or we're ready to end it. And that's kind of where you're at right now. Is this something we want to fix together, or is this something we need to go and grow apart and find different people? Maybe even fix ourselves for a while before we're ready to come back and be partners again. But until we can find the more positiveness that's in our lives already, being like a sunflower in a sunflower field, trying to find the sun all day long, because it's got to gather up that positive energy to continue to grow and become a better, more powerful, beautiful plant. It needs the rain, it needs the air, it needs all other things, yes and yes and yes. But a sunflower looks for the sun first, and it follows it around all day long, just like you and your partner have to start to look at that positivity all day long. And then when you do have times of rest, when that isn't there, it's okay that it's not there. And when it feels like you have to work on it harder, work on it better, work on it stronger, then until you can get in your field with your partner and just take it in, then you'll finally see what that is all been about and why you guys have to learn how to do that. And that was a very much to your last kind of a reading, kind of an answer. So sometimes they come back with extra answers, even though I only pull 4 or 5 cards. And sometimes they answer a different question. And maybe it does answer a different question, but something on the way I said it or how I said it will answer that question for you. So hopefully that helped you today, Indigo. I hope you gained some insight. Give it a think. Give it a ponder. If it resonated with you, which I hope it did, I hope it makes you live a better, happier life. Remember, you are a more powerful team together. And if it's time for it to end, if you don't feel like it can go on any long, then let him be your best friend for the remainder of your life, and you don't have to lose a damn thing. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can still have your best friend. You just don't have the lover right now. That doesn't mean the lover can't return. Fall in love with your best friend again. And stop questioning it. Sweaty! 7 and 23, I see ancestors. What do they want you to know? Okay. I am going to finish my cigarette. Have a small little coffee break here real quick, guys. So I hope you don't mind, but I'm also going to take a restroom break real quick before I get into this reading, Sweaty. So I will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. As you all know, I use a cane, so it takes me a while to get back and forth. But I will be back, guys. I just got to go potty. And I'm back. Thank you guys for your patience. I also had to make myself some breakfast, guys. So, when the blood sugar starts to dip, you listen. So I'm just kind of putting my breakfast over here on the side here and getting it out of the way and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I've got some breakfast for myself today. And it's always important to keep yourself healthy, guys. I know you're still here, but it was just kind of re-welcoming you all back. Now we're going to do these shuffles here. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now the 23rd card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2. And Tans, how was your stream? I'm sorry, I didn't even ask you how your stream was when you came in and raid or anything like that. I'm a bad streamer, bad friend. No, you're saying to yourself, oh, you're busy, Prophet. It's okay. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay. So, special shout out to my girl, your best, Tansy. Well, let's do that now. And then we're going to do your reading because we're already with the card numbers here. As soon as my stupid, dumb thingy works in. I thought she was still here. Yep, she's still here. There we go. Go check out my girl, your best, Tansy. And then we'll get to doing these readings again here for you. And you wanted to know about your ancestors and stuff like that. And something about how can I protect myself from the person who wants to steal from me. Yeah, well, there comes a time and place for us to play nice, and there comes a time and a place for not to play nice anymore. You've given them fair warning. You've given them more than fair warning. You've let them know in no uncertain terms that if this continues, something will happen. With that said, now you have to cut the puppet strings telling you what you think you need to be doing to this person and start to trust your intuition more and take back the control you want back in your life. I'm sorry, this person who wants to steal from you, karma is a coming for them. Karma is a coming heavy for them. And you just need to sit back, relax, and watch the movie play out because you're going to laugh your butt off when you see what happens to this person. You have to start taking the control you need of your life. Stop letting them puppet string you around like that you are letting them do right now. Rather than that, cut them off of the puppet strings and let's start to take the fan back in our own hand and start to fan the fire that's in front of our own asses rather than worrying about their asses and what fire they've got under their butts right now. I mean, your ancestors are saying you got to take control of the situation. First, let's do the mundane thing. Let's report it to the appropriate authorities. Let's put up security cameras so we can catch the act should it happen again. And then let's contact a lawyer so we can already start the process of making sure they understand that when they've done this to us one more time, that lawyer will go into full tilt kitty mode. Okay? And I will take full advantage of their services. And I don't care how much it costs me. Baby daddy, I don't care if he's Father of the Year, okay? You got to hold him to task, okay? He's got responsibilities. He made this kid with you. You didn't do it by yourself. He's got to start either being the dad or not being the dad, but there's a guy out there who wants to be dad, okay? So even if this jerk doesn't want that responsibility, and it kind of feels like he's just playing the I'm not responsible enough game right now in his head, you know, and you need to stop worrying about it and let's get the test done. Let's find out It's Ancestry.com. It's not like you have to go to a paternity judge to do these things. You take some saliva, you take your kid's saliva, you find out where your parentage comes from. If you can get them to give a sample too, then you figure that out. Well, of course you're tired of being used. That's why it's time to take the control back in your life, okay? I'm sorry. I grew up with a single mom who raised two kids on her own perfectly fine in the 80s here. Okay, when it was a lot harder to do that, now at least women have a little bit more better opportunity, a little bit better paying jobs. I'm not saying you guys got it great out there because you don't, okay? I think men have taken full advantage of their little fishing line and hook, line, sinker, reel kind of motions here. So a lot of the times that most men just think they own the world, and they don't. Women own the world. We just sit here and go, oh, pretty. Sometimes I think that's how it works. Sometimes I don't know if that's how it works. You have to find a new path forward. Cut through the bullshit, okay, Sweaty? Cut through the bullshit. We've seen this coming. We knew it was coming. We knew it was time for baby daddy to become sperm donor. He's not a dad. He's a sperm donor. Go find a father who wants to be there then. If he's not going to take his portion of the responsibility package. You want him to be the father? Really? You want that guy to be the father of your kid? Really? Are you sure about that? And are you sure about that? Because I'm feeling there might be another possibility too. Is there another possibility? I don't know. It's not letting me know that. But you have to start to find a path that you can start to be a little bit more determined with what you want to get. So if it's single mom time, buckle up, Buttercup. Allow you to raise your kids and let love happen to you and find the right guy who will help you raise those kids. There's a guy out there who wants that job. I know there's a guy out there who wants that job. I don't think you need jerk number one. I think you need the guy who wants to be there, who wants to be the dad, who wants to help, who wants to see that kid grow, wants to love that kid unconditionally without any kind of thing. Even though it's not his kid, that's the kind of father you want. You don't want this guy being the same old pain in the ass jerk until he wakes his ass up, becomes a more responsible adult, and starts to forge what he does want in his life. He's never going to become a more responsible adult. You can't use the fuel of the fire being provided for you. You have been realizing all of this because your forge has been building up. You've been putting a little bit of your heart in that forge a little bit at a time, going, I can't keep giving this man the same love I gave to him when we created this child. It's got to move from this kind of love to this kind of love. I will never hide who the father of the child is. I will not do that to him, okay? I will not take him out of his life. I will tell him if he wants to be there, he has to be there. But until he's ready to do that, okay. But you take that forge and that heat, that thing you want to create out of that fire that you are using right now to make the destiny and choices you want to make. Maybe it takes an easier path for you to make a small stage of 10 steps to get to where you want in life. Maybe it does take you a while to get where you're going, but you're going to get there eventually. It doesn't matter if you take an easy or a hard path. It's about cutting through those reeds and getting past the bullshit to see that there's a new path forward. This person is going to put themselves in their own principle, their own prison cell, if they're not careful. They're not doing something completely right with their life right now. It might even be very illegal. I'm not sure on this, okay? But whatever they're doing right now, they're going to put themselves in their own little prison, and maybe that's what it takes to wake their ass up. Maybe they need to have their freedom taken away, their choice taken away from them, for them to finally realize what they actually have in their life. So maybe you put him in his own little prison there for a bit and say, you don't get to see your kid until you can show me you want to be there. You don't get to be a part of this kid's life until you want to be a father. I don't care if you take him one day a month, at least I want you to be there. Okay, but when you're there that month, I expect you to be dad of the year and dad that will help make this child understand who he came from. You know what I'm saying? I need to move. He needs to do what my brother did, okay? He needs to stop looking at his life as the shitstorm and putting himself in the same old prison cell that he keeps thinking he can't get out of because he has already had the key and parole day has already come. It's like a lifetimer who's been in jail so long that they'd rather stay in jail than be let out because that's the only life they know how to live. Well, parole day is here and he's being forced to face that because now he doesn't have the protection that he was used to. He's being moved out of all of that emotional energy, all of that stuff that he's been holding inside, all that damn breaking moments that are coming for him. And then he's going to have that moment where his life is going to get shattered on his ass. And then he's going to have that, now I have to breathe. If I don't breathe now, I can't survive kind of moment. It's not flight or fight, it's survive, you know what I'm saying? And my brother had to learn this lesson too. He had to learn how to re-embrace the fresh breath of air in his lungs, that he had the opportunity to find the better future, the better fresh breath of lungs in his lungs now were the air of freedom, not the air of entrapment. He had to allow his emotional freedom to come out and allow that fresh rain to come out, not only to pour his own emotions about what he had done, because he had realized what he did was very bad and he didn't want to be that person. Okay, he did something incredibly evil in this world. I don't talk about it much, okay, guys? But when he did do that, he did at least own up to it. He went and took responsibility for it. He paid the price for it. He still pays the price for it to this day. But his parole day came, and then he had to turn his life around. He could either let what he did define the rest of his life or keep trying to move forward in the best possible way he could. He can never change what he did, just like he can never change what he does now. That will be ingrained in history, but let it be the facts of the story. Don't tie the emotional baggage along with it. Be the kind of person who allows yourself that fresh breath of air. You need that fresh air in your lungs too today, sweaty. You need to let that emotional rain come out of you. And I think the person you need to let it out on is Dickhead. I think your guy is being incredibly irresponsible and incredibly egotistical, self-important. My life is the only life that's important here. Even with the kid on the way, he's kind of like this. Very, if I don't show strength, my boys will think me unworthy or whatever bullshit story he gives himself. It's like the world's worst gangster or something like that. Or I won't call him the world's worst gangster. He's scary as fuck, but you know what I'm saying? He's got that mean attitude about him too. Like he's always got to be the I'm got my shit together. Nothing ever affects me guy. When it breaks, it breaks. Do you want to see your God card? Yeah, when he reaches that little the pressure valve there, and that you start to see him start to let out just a tiny bit of that little shit he hasn't let go of yet. Can you imagine the day he lets it all out? Do you want to be anywhere near that shit? Do you want your kid to be anywhere near that shit? Oh, that's what I'm saying. He's too much of a child himself. How can he raise a child? Until you grab him by the face and said, "You are a father now. You are not 6 years old anymore. You have to start acting like you want to be here. Don't act like your dad, you idiot." And that's where a lot of that comes from, too. His dad was not exactly father of the year either. The cycle will never break until he breaks it. Until you show him what his child means. Bring your kid, put him in front of that father's eyes, and then leave the kid with him for a while and say it's your turn to take care of it, and go live your life for a while and see how he handles it. You know what? You can drop that kid on him anytime you want. You don't need permission from no one to do it. He's the father. He's the one who made it. He's the one who's responsible for it. Do you want your God card? Hell or not? Here it comes. 1, 2, 3. If you're ready, tell me you are or not. This may have something to do with your last reading, but it may be another answer to a different question, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Do you really need to be in his life for when that finally comes out of him and you're the recipient of that? Is that what it's going to take to wake you up here? Does he have to throw a hand your way before you finally get it? He's a lot like his father, and I don't mean it in all the good ways. Got too much of his father in him. He let his father creep into his head, and he lets him sit there. Tell him to go watch the movie Spaceman today. Tell him to go watch the movie Spaceman, and then maybe if he has any emotion whatsoever in his heart, he'll allow it to do what it's supposed to do for him, and maybe he can get back to being an actual dad. Yep. You need to stop being afraid of the ice breaking underneath your feet. You know what? It may break, but it was the thinnest of ice possible, and it was the smallest hole possible. Yeah, you may feel like you're walking on ice, but who the fucking cares? I'm going to stomp my feet into the ground and keep moving forward. You can't freeze me in fear any longer. I will not let you have power over me anymore. Either you will have power with me, but at least be there for your kid no matter what the fuck happens here. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. My father was a lot like this when I was a younger boy, so that's kind of why this resonates with me. My father was a drug addict when he was a boy. He got addicted to a lot of the harsher chemicals of the egg. He was in the 70s. He grew up with the heroins and the cocaines and all the drugs that were out there at the time, okay? When it was okay to do all of that and it was free love and free everything, okay? Now, that partially ended his story, but it was a motorcycle accident that woke his ass up. It wasn't for that motorcycle accident. I don't know if my father would have woken up, honestly. It took a motorcycle accident to make him realize that he almost lost the chance to make up with his son and be a part of his son's life before he finally realized. And then his 60-year-old son comes with a little nasty letter to tell him to go fuck himself. So watch it come back to him someday too, okay? That's all I've got to say. If he doesn't want to be there, watch it come back to his ass today, and your kid will be the one who breaks the cycle, because he won't let him escape this. You know what I'm saying? Your son's, or it's a son. You have a son. Is it a son or I'm feeling son? I feel like it's a son. If it's not a son, it will be like a very tomboyish kind of a girl. Oh, when they get older. They might have identity issues, a lot of them. But personal growth will help that win out. You know, if you're worried about your kid becoming like that guy, you won't let him. You won't let your kid, whatever sex it is, become that. You just won't let it happen. And then you're going to have to sit back and watch him break his heart. And there's nothing you're going to ever be able to do to fix it. And that's the cost of being a parent, unfortunately. You just don't get some choices there. Nicole, my lovely, beautiful lady. I'm just telling you, when I get these intuitions like this, and you come back to me and tell me that resonated with you, or it accurately describes a person, then you're being a little bit more freer with your open-mindedness, with you feel like you're ready for the answer. You know, you usually get the reading you really need to get here. So if you're ready for a certain answer, you're going to get that answer from me, more likely than not. So I'm glad it resonated. I'm glad it kind of accurately described his personality. But knowing all of that and me saying it out loud to you, now look and say, do you really want this man in your life any longer? And I think you know the answer to the questions you are seeking. Make him be the responsible dad he needs to be, or tell him to get the fuck out of your life. I'm a perfectly well-adjusted man because I didn't grow up without a father. Did I make it with my dad in the future? You better believe I did, because another woman had to have that happen. It took my second stepmom to make that happen. Okay? Wasn't for my second stepmom, there is no father-son relationship to this day. Yeah, you know what? I should probably do the Screeching Eagle redeem there. I'll have to look into that. Like I said, I just got done some of my stream element alerts to work, so I don't even know if it went off when Tans came in for her raid or not, because I didn't see anything come up when it did. So, all right, Nicole, I'm sorry I spent so long explaining things to Sweaty, but that's how it rolls here. It's your turn. Throw me your numbers and or questions. Let's get to it. I'm going to take a smoky break and finish a little bit of my nut salty raisin mix here. We got salted balls. So, I'm sorry that I had to stuff my face there. All right, Nicole, we're waiting on her numbers. We're waiting on Nicole's numbers. Just put them one more time because I think I missed them. Okay, I know your question. Now throw me your numbers. 1 through 10 for shuffle, 1 through 52 for answers in my deck. Well, I take one of these breakfast burritos and inhale it. This is your ASMR for the stream. That was a fake one, though. Okay. That one doesn't count. Okay. That has been your ASMR Joshua Bleezy Iron Profit for the day. I don't even have an ASMR redeem, but yeah, there it goes. I'm still waiting to get a more dedicated mod who can be here every day. I'm still trying to find someone who can be a regular mod for me, who can help me out with maybe some of my stream stuff, someone who knows a little bit more than me. So I do look up to a couple streamers out there who are doing a lot better job at it than me. I'm not trying to be famous here. I'm not even trying to earn a living here. I'm trying to have something to do for 3 hours a day so I don't stay bored at home doing nothing all day long. And because I actually feel like this is my job. This is my purpose. This is why I went through everything I went through. This is exactly who I needed to be. I don't question it anymore. I used to. And every once in a while I can't say that there isn't a grain of doubt in there because I'd be lying. All right, 5 and 45 for you. And let's find out what you need to know about this, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. No God cards today. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 45th card is now on top for you today. And you want to know about the stagnant thing that you're going through right now. Who's trying to make you stagnant, or what's making you stagnant, or why you can't seem to move forward, right? Yeah. The who, huh? Nicole, you know this person very, very well. You know this person extremely well. They have been a part of your life pretty much since the beginning, almost, I would feel. I'm talking about you here. Yes, you are the major person who's developing their own little demon. You are currently doing this. You are currently giving this energy a form. You are starting to make it be a real being. Before you know it, that being will become something you cannot control. So stop giving into the negative. Stop giving into the past. Stop giving into all of that stuff. And your war chronicle, stop looking at it as you've won the war. Start looking at it as what I've been through to get to become the person I am today. Okay, yeah, you went through some battles. Oh, we all will go through battles. Trust me, young person. We have all been through the shitstorm at some point in our lives, one way or the other. I don't care how rich you are, famous, and or the other things. You've been through something in this world. I don't know what that something is, but you have been through it. You have to remind yourself that your past does not define who you are. It only tells you how you became who you are. Who you are will always be who you are. And it's time to recognize, to come to terms that this past isn't a changing. We can only start to face our future by taking one brave step forward. So the only person holding you in stagnant right now is you. There isn't an energy trying to do it to you, except the energy you are creating. There isn't a person out there going, boogity, boogity, boogities. Nicole, we want you to stop moving and growing in life. Okay? I am not the evil person in my secret lair going, we must curse Nicole. Okay? There is no person. You're doing it to your damn self. You are manifesting the being you think you want in your life. I don't know why you feel like you need to hurt yourself this badly, but what did you do so wrong that you deserve to have this kind of a prison sentence? I mean, really? Do you really need a full hell demon covering your ass? I mean, that's what we're creating here because that's the kind of energy we're putting into this. You know what I'm saying? And the stagnant nature, the only thing holding you back is you saying that this isn't for a purpose. This isn't for a reason. When you're cooking food, does it take a while for that food to cook? Do you have to let the heat come up and let the flavors start to soak in before you are ready to plate it and enjoy the meal? Yes or no? Because you are creating the being you want or think you don't want, or creating your own fear, your own anxiety, your own entity, because that's what you think you deserve. Kill your goddamn demon already and bury his ass in the backyard. Or better yet, make good friends with him and make him do your dirty work for you. Right, Athrith? One of my guides, you know, he laughs at me when I say stuff like that because he's very aware. I'm very aware of what I'm saying when I say it, you know. The only thing you have left to do now is you are putting yourself in the I need to protect myself from any kind of harm kind of a barrier right now. It's so fucking thick. It's like a thick sheet of ice that you have basically two little eye holes to look through the world in, and one little nice mouth hole. Yeah, you get food delivered every once in a while, and yeah, it's all out in the middle of the ocean where you can't be bothered. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? We don't want to be bothered, so we're not being bothered. Until you're ready to say, I'm ready to break and put my defenses back down to a place where I'm ready for growth again, well, that's when that will start to happen. You have to break apart those barriers that have been keeping you locked from moving forward. So what are you doing to face every day with a new challenge? What goal did you set today? If it's get up, get out of bed, go make yourself breakfast, go back to bed and relax and rest and get your spoons refilled, then that's your goal for today. If your goal is to make world-affecting change and growth, you better be the most charismatic, most well-educated, most loving, beautiful soul on the planet, because unless you're super, super, very rarely beautiful person, no one's going to give two shits about you. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying, Nicole? Know what I'm saying? And the thing that you have to begin to do now is let this new beginning start now. Let this new choice start now. The soil I grew out of, that past was that soil. That thing I thought I needed to damage myself or punish myself for whatever the fuck I think I did wrong, even if I'm angry at myself and mad and angry and stuff like that. Well, guess what? You're the person who created the beast. Only you can destroy it. You have the power to do such things while you have the chance to do it. But until you break down those barriers and start to be a little bit more vulnerable, that beast is just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger because you refuse to do the one work you have yet left to do, which is melt that ice, break through that ice with your golden hammer, and let that positivity start to melt away all of that ice so that you can start to do this new growth. Because guess what that water will do? It will soak into your nice little plot of land. You'll soak up all the new nutrients you need in your life, and you'll actually start to grow because you'll be searching for the sun when the sun is out there. You'll be taking in those nice breaths of air or letting it dust you off when you need it to let dust you off. When the emotions come your way, let it rain down and you can wash away all the things you need to let out and let go of. And then let it fill your bucket back up with all that which you do need as you start to gather those nutrients in the soil you created. You are the master of your own destiny, my friend. The only person, and this is the thing you need to start to do, is say, today. Today is the day I take one step forward. What that one step is up to you. But that's all it is one step. And then tomorrow it's 2 steps. Then it's 3 steps. Or maybe you take 10 steps all at once and take that giant leap off of a cliff and go for it. I don't know. But that's your journey yet to be discovered. What kind of an adventure do you want? Do you want the free will game time adventure that we all get the opportunity to play here, where there are options beyond all options in any game of life? The game of life is the ultimate role-playing game, guys. Hello, we all playing a character here, and we all think we're right. We all want to know that we're the biggest, strongest, most powerful person on the old board there, that we can make it through all the monsters. And what do? We sit here and question why we don't have our destiny, love, all this other stuff. When we really just need to say, you know what, I need to go out there and get that fucking shit. That's your reading for today, Nicole. Jing, my sister, my friend, my lady, my love. How are you doing today? Sorry, I'm already taken. While Jing's getting ready with their numbers, I'm pondering the question of their day. I'd like to say thank you for everyone who has come to support me in my journey to make my 5 paths a reality sooner rather than later. I do only have 3 days left. I am holding out for hope, but I'm not counting on it happening in 3 days, honestly. To be very frankly, I haven't seen any movement on it since the first time I put it out there. I've done all the other work for it. So, without there being support, I still want to do it, but now the money's gone, and now I don't have the ability to just go do it right now. Now I have to save up a little bit, maybe plan it out a little bit better, because we got a lot of stuff we needed, but, you spent a lot of money on things we didn't need either, so. But I'll tell you what, we were fat, happy, and high the whole month, so I'm gonna take the win here. So, Jing, this is your first official call. TC, welcome in. We got to get together at least once this month to have our class, okay? I want you to come up with a day you are available for that. One day before the month end is all I'm asking, okay? Once a month. That's all I am asking for a commitment from you, remember, right? So, just reminding you, that's all. I know you got a lot of your own stuff going on, but we need to talk about this. And I've been waiting for you to be ready to talk about it. And so, when you're ready, like I said, just sometime before the end of this month. for it because his next reading is in for it. My cards were already jumping off the table for the next person in line, so I don't know if it's TC or Jing, but Jing, this is still your first call. First call for Jing. We'll give you 2 minutes to respond, a minute apiece, and then we'll move on to the next person in line. Maybe you have some connection issues or something else on there. Looks like I'm still live, so got my cookie for later. I stole a cookie from my wife. Ha ha ha. I shall be like, no, don't steal a cookie from me. No, not that. Better than stealing a weed. Now, let me bring my chat back up because maybe there were things said in it. And I didn't see what it said. All right, Jing, sorry about that. I just noticed it. 10 and 18 for you. General reading for you. Gotcha. All right. 10 shuffles for Jing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you know I'm fully aware of that, right? Was that what you just said there? Hey, TC, that's part of the reason I want to talk. Your teacher's trying to reach out and check on his student. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Almost went too far, so I took one back. And we want to know about the general reading. Anyway, we'll put those there for now. And, Jing, it's just a general reading for you to do. I think this is more of a validation because I don't feel they're yelling at you here. It's more of a good, keep going on track kind of a reading for you. They're kind of acknowledging that they see you renewing that brilliant, beautiful spirit. You see you embracing the happy more. You see you trying to find the joy in life, trying to find that light within yourself and trying to grow that light, how it feels good for you to grow it. And they're really excited to see you start to finally do this work. They still see you doing a lot of good things, yes, but they know that there's still some things you're still working on and have to still kind of bring all those coals together and tend to the right fire that you need to pay attention to. You know that you are a beautiful, brilliant, beautiful soul. You're starting to accept that. Now the energies are shifting enough for you to be able to manifest new change, new growth in your own life. And that means looking at your little fire and going, what coals in my life do I need to pay more attention to? Does this focus me on my main goal in life right now? Is this something that needs to be moved out of the fire? Do I need to let it lower for a bit and let it become a nice little calming thingy? Am I ready to rest for the night? Get the fire nice red roaring hot so that it will last me the whole night long? You know what I'm saying? It's discovering what these things are and putting them in the right places takes some time. So I kind of feel like they're giving you that acknowledgement that you're taking the right amount of time to tend to self, to do some of this work without being overly burdening yourself with it either. So you're still living the normal life and doing all of that stuff. They know that you are worried about going back into the same old bad patterns again. That you think that, oh, this time won't be any different. I'm going to end up right back where I was again. This is going to be the time. It's not going to stick. I know I've been through this way too many times kind of thinking when the defenses you're putting up are you're not letting that future even come near you because you're so afraid of it that you're protecting yourself from the what ifs. You know, And it's not like you're trying to protect yourself right now. This is just them saying, hey, we acknowledge that you still have some of those old bad habits. We still need to melt away here, but we know you're aware of that. We see the glow. We see you shining the light down on it. We see the fire next to it even doing some of the work too, right? Now we're just working on the process of melting it. It's going to take a while. It's been winter for a while. We are starting to finally see the world for what it truly is, seeing our world for how it really is. And once we have acknowledgement of where we are on our path and that there's a certain line that if we crossed, we could actually start to live the life we wanted rather than the life everyone thought we deserved or what we thought we deserved at one point. It's us crossing that line and seeing the world in a new, different way. And now that you're starting to see that new, different way, now the universe is going, oh, now she's ready for that XYZ she hasn't gotten before, right? That's kind of what I feel like they're trying to tell you. Yeah, good thing for you, Nicole. I'm glad that you do that and destroy that demon. Like I said, it's not a really powerful thing right now. It's easy. It's just your personal demon kind of an issue. I'm just saying you keep letting this thing fester and fester and fester. You're going to turn it into something more powerful that may require outside help. That's all. I'm just giving you your fair warning, okay? And Jing, to you as well. We have your God cards as well. So I don't know if you want God cards or not today. Oh. Doesn't look like my buddy's going to be on today. Usually he posts if he's going to be on earlier. And Jing, whenever you're ready, one more time. Do you want me to show you your God cards? Yes or no? Okay. I finally have a message here. Okay. Sorry. Scroll got stuck. Okay. They're just basically telling you that whatever's going on right now, you're discovering what's underneath the surface of it. You keep bringing it to light, keep bringing it to light, seeing things for how they truly are. Now it's making it a little bit easier to live in that space now, isn't it? Hey, Alka, I'm doing awesome, thank you. And that you know that you started to believe these things that I told you once upon a time. That you do have power in this situation, that you are loved, and you know you are loved now. Now I have to carve my destiny into being what I want it to be. Like I said, finding a way to be creative and still do what is expected of me, but give as much as I take and take as much as I give so that those lines of communication can become a little bit more open. I remember when you were really, really worried about relationship issues and relationship and how things were going to work out once upon a time ago. It feels like some of those worries had finally started to quell, that some of the things we finally started to accept what things were, the way they actually were. We did the communication thing. I'm feeling like you did a lot of this work already. So it's kind of like the universe wants you to be proud of the what you've done so far, and it's okay to give yourself more time and space to do it. Remember, you're the chooser of your destiny. You're the chooser of your path. So, yep, busy day today. So that's what I have to tell you today there, my friend. Yeah, I've had pretty much readings since 9:30 almost. So, so pretty much the whole entire stream I've been doing readings, except for like a 15-minute break to make some breakfast and bathroom and stuff like that. But so cleansing shuffle for TC, and maybe this answers some of the questions that you have right now, TC, because I know you got some. And like I said, the reason I wanted to talk to you about where you're at right now, more than anything, was it was a more of a teachers checking in on a student, yes. But more than that, friends checking in on a friend, making sure they're doing okay with it all, because I do have your new lesson ready for you. should you be ready for it? But we have got to talk about the other stuff first before I feel like you're ready for it, not ready for it, kind of a deal. So, like I said, not trying to put a fire under your really heavy, but I am kind of putting a fire under your ass. Okay, so here we go. Throw me your numbers. Let's do that reading thingy. Jing jing. Thank you very much for being here today. I appreciate you so much, and I know what it's like, what you're going through. I've been through what you're going through. You forget this, okay? I've been through what you've been through. I've been through it a couple of times in my life. There might be somebody out there who might understand what you're going through. Maybe I should talk to somebody. Might not be a bad idea. Why am I such a stubborn bastard anyway? I don't know. Why are you? Oh. And I'm talking to myself when I say those words, okay? I am fully aware that I can be a stubborn, obstinate man sometimes who gets in his own head and overthinks it and worries about the stupidest, dumbest things that don't need to be worried about. I'm very aware of my own sometimes failings, and sometimes their failings have become strengths over the years, Whereas I'm not knowing how to do anything turned into how do I problem solve it. So now I know how to problem solve really well, All right, let's get to it. 3 and 11. 1, 2, 3. Yep. 2 God cards. And I know I've already got permission to kick your ass. And that was 3 was the last shuffle there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I didn't quite get to finish that 3rd shuffle, so that's why that counted as 3. So, but I know you're here for a reason. I know you're getting checked in on, not only as a reader, getting read for yourself and getting your own spiritual kind of check-in, but, you're kind of a tiny bit lost a little bit right now, and I understand why you're feeling the way you're doing, so. Now we're finally starting to understand this acceptance part I was talking about in the very beginning about there was some work that we needed to get finished and done with before we could move into a little bit more of the heavier stuff. And we were talking about how that this event that happened in your life, that you had to learn how to soak this into your life a lot, that you were working on letting it happen, like this moment that's going to be happening for us all coming soon, maybe, we're somewhere down the line, maybe. It has to happen to you when it happens to you. It's not something you can plan for. It's not something you can map out. There's no rule book that you can look into. It is free will. Let's roll the dice and let's see where you end up on the board of life here kind of a time, And now that we're finally understanding what we're letting go of or what we have let go of, and why we had to move on from that, and now trying to discover this new thing, this new acceptance of us, of seeing ourselves being who we want ourselves to be. It's a different kind of thinking process we haven't been used to, right? This is something that's been kind of coming up in our life for a long, long time. We've kind of went through this motion a while now. Now we're finally getting to the point we need to get to because it's time. TC. Stop apologizing and saying, I'm sorry for everything. The I'm sorry game has to stop. Stop apologizing for things you aren't doing wrong in the first place. Stop giving yourself grief for doing things that you aren't supposed to be doing wrong in the first place. Stop making yourself angry at yourself. Savage, my brother? Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to be savage. Just like Mr. Savage is going to be savage. I know what you meant there, but you know what I'm saying? We've talked about this before, but I want to point this out to you. Today, I want you to go watch a clip I will send you in a DM later, okay? I was trying to show this on Tansy's channel. I still don't know if she showed the whole clip or not, but I was trying to explain to her what I see in my head pretty much on a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week kind of a deal. That I filter any of it out is a miracle sometimes, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with any of you people out there, okay? And I get random messages from time to time that have nothing to do with you, and I don't tell you those things, okay? Because they're more of a, my guide's checking in with me going, yep, you're right, yep, you're on track, keep going, we got you, trust that feeling, don't trust that feeling, back off a little bit, kind of stuff like that. And you still are holding back on the anger part. You think that this isn't supposed to be used for some reason or something like that? That you're better than any other person out there who has to deal with the darkness too? That has to walk in that darkness just like you? Who has to walk in that shadow just like you? Well, maybe you need to understand something here. Maybe there's something we haven't let out yet. Some part of ourself that we're still kind of holding back yet that we have yet to really, really, really release. And I mean the real shit here, Miss TC. Take care. It's time to take care of this shit. That's what this time is for. And I know you're kind of feeling, I thought you said this was going to be a nice, light, happy. I never promised any such kind of thing. I promised that I would tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me every God I believe. And I promise to tell you the good, the bad, the uglies, and everything in between. I promise to tell you how to reach your best day ever. I never promised to fix your life and make it better. That's your job. So, what do you need to be determined with? What do you need to start to consider? What are going to be the obstacles in my way I'm going to have to climb over maybe? Yeah. But do I need to always take the hardest of hard paths? Right? Do I need to take the hardest of hardest paths? No, but I can take a difficult path. I can take a challenging path. It's still going to be hard to do it, but you're still going to have to assign yourself some space to let it soak in. So soak it in already. You can't hear me? We're going to take a break for an ad break here. Okay. So like I was saying with the beginning of this card here, is that yeah, you know what obstacles are in the road ahead, okay? You're very aware of what obstacles are in your way right now. The part of the hard path is it doesn't have to necessarily be the hardest of hardest paths. You don't have to climb the mountain here. You just have to make it up the hill here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're being determined to get to the end of this journey and see where it leads. But you're more in the letting it soak in part now rather than the doing the work part. You have to get better at the letting it soak in part. That's what I'm saying to you. This is designed to help you see underneath the surface of it all. Why do you think you're being faced with all these underneath the surface stuff right now? Why do you think I'm telling you the lessons I'm telling you? Why am I telling the lessons? Are you finally starting to understand what that means to own up to that future self and what that future expectation is and what that expectation does look like in yourself right now? And can it change? Can it grow? Can it be better? Well, I think it can be. You're just discovering what is underneath the surface so that you can effectively go, oh, wait, look, I really don't need this. Boom, easy as peasy. Rather than going, okay, come here, TC, let me take this off of you right now whether you want it to or not. They did that to you already. That's what the awakening was about. Now we have to learn it to let it soak in. Because you're my student, because I love you with all of my heart, It's time to find the same kind of balance I once had to find. You've walked in the darkness long enough. Now walk in the light. You've walked in the darkness long enough, the shadow long enough. Now head towards the light. Find that gray in between both worlds. You can exist in, the thing you can control, the magic and will and intent you have within you right now. Find the symphony of all those notes playing one song that fills you with what you feel inside, because you are the only one who can find that balance. You are more mature than you think you are. You're farther along in psychicness. You're farther along in your path that you're giving yourself credit for. It's the mundane part of yourself getting in conflict with that higher self. That's why the questions are coming up. That's why things have been the way they have been recently. And if you ask yourself, if I'm asking for all of this XYZ, what did I say and say to myself that would happen to me? Somewhere down the line, you wanted to be called to task, didn't you? You wanted to be shown just how wrong you could be. Didn't you say these words once upon a time? Well, now you've got to use all those roots to gather up the right kind of nutrients so you can just begin to grow again a little bit every day. Becoming the student and the teacher at the same time. Because I've seen your streams. I've been there. I've been listening. Sometimes I just sit in there and lurk and hear you do a couple of readings and kind of go, okay, let me see where she's at on her intuitional journey. Not saying a single word. Maybe you see me in there, maybe you don't. But it's about the roots that you set down in that ground that gather up the information. It's about your connection to those things that are in that gray between that bring you that balance. And if you aren't going to walk in, if you're going to walk in one world, it's time to walk in the other. So that's what I want you to understand. And this next thing I want you to do is going to help you with that. In fact, it will probably be when you're ready for your big crescendo moment, I have a very specific ritual for you that I want to give you. But I need you to be extremely ready. In fact, I need you to ask me for it. Okay? And I'm going to have a question for you. And if you get it wrong, I will no longer be able to teach you. And that's not a warning. That's not a threat. That's not even anything else. Okay? That's a priest to a student's promise that I cannot teach you if you fail this question. So, there is a question I need you to answer before I can begin to do anything else more with you. Okay? When you're ready, you come ask me. We'll get her done. You better have time. You better have all the time you need. And have all those, as much as you can, resolved. Okay? And I might even need your daughter's help for this. Okay? And maybe you can do this together. Depends on where she's at in her journey. Okay? And what her path is at this point. Because she's your daughter and still a young lady who's growing up. You're the best person to decide whether she will need that or not. Do it for yourself first. Or once I tell you what it is, you can have that discussion with your daughter. And she's approaching her... she's about to come into her full power, as I like to say. If you think she's at full power, your daughter's going to make you look that much more better as a parent. That's all I'm going to say. She's going to shine. You'll be proud mama one day. Very proud mama one day. And that's not to put any pressure on you, okay, Willow? Don't think of that as pressure in case your daughter's listening, okay? Not saying you can't fail, okay? Of course you're going to fail. Yeah, you've been told. So, Elka, throw me your numbers. And let's see, where am I at? 11-4-04. I've got 2 readings left in the queue. Is there anybody else out there who wants to add one more reading to my queue before I start thinking about looking for people to raid? Hey, got suggestions? Got people you think could use my help? Could use our help? Don't be afraid to guide the raid in the Discord. Don't forget to use your channel points to guide the raid if you want to. Hell, you don't need to use your channel points. Tell me someone we can go spend a little bit of love to. I'll do it. I don't have any more money to give them right now, but I do have a lot of beautiful people to send their way. So, 3 and 8 for you. What is your question? And we'll talk about all the other stuff when you're ready. Okay, strong now. We'll see. When you have camera and other things attached to the system, because I knew you've been spending a little bit of time catching up and getting back into the swing of things and just getting down with the move and all of that stuff. But I can't wait to have our face-to-face, you and me. Okay? I'm looking forward to that, by the way, so... If nothing else, I hope I get that much from you. But I understand if you want to keep your privacy and all of that stuff too. And I know who you are. I don't need a face. You know what I'm saying? All right, Alka, on to your reading. These are your 3 official shuffles for your reading for today. 1, 2, 3. Love, reading for Alka. Okay, no God cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, Elka wants to know about love, right? Oofty. Yeah. Yeah, buddy, as I like to say. I wish I had devil horns that could grow out of my head right now, because that'd be fun. Okay, how much are you ready for? I want to tap you on the shoulder and go, how much are we ready for here? Because, yeah. And I know. Help? Yeah, exactly, help. So, let's get to it though, okay? About the love reading in general. So, the thing that you need to understand and stuff like that. I know you see the death card and you're being like, yeah, you've never seen me try to be sinister? There's a reason I pull it out for special occasions, and these are one of those special occasions that I've just gotta, pull it out for. See, I'm even going to show you the hole in my hat. That's how serious it is. You know it's serious when I refix the hat. When I care about where my spiritual cap is on, you know you're going to get it. Okay, so, like happy spanking? No. But we'll get to it, okay? So just kind of, like I said, putting that slight little warning out there. Because it's not like you aren't ready to hear it, okay? You are. You're really ready to hear it. You've been ready to hear it for a while. And please forgive me for this because your guys are telling me to put it this way. You stupid idiot girl. Why in the hell are you ignoring the other guy when the other guy is being such a dork? Okay, I don't know what this means, but it's like you're one person not doing what they're supposed to be doing. One wishing you would pay more attention to them because they could be exactly what you're looking for. It kind of feels like the last relationship was the catalyst of life a little bit kind of moment. We were burning a lot of bridges here. It wasn't exactly the healthiest of relationships from what I'm feeling, Yeah, okay, yeah. Young lady sounds silly when I was born with a helicopter engine. Well, you know what? Everyone's a young lady to me because I'm an old soul, Betty. Okay, I'm older than the universe here, okay? That's just it, that's part of my spirituality. I'm very fully aware of where I've come from in the universe, and I can tell you I'm part of those very beginning particles that began in this universe. Some people call them star children, some people call them lights in the world, angels, whatever. Yeah, I've already been asked to talk that, I'm creator of my own world. You're damn straight I am. I am the manifester of my own damn destiny. You want to talk about using the catalyst of your life? Let's talk 35 years of catalyst before I even became this person here, Elka. 35 years to become this person here. We want to talk about a long little drag there, okay? I think you'll appreciate that because I kind of felt like you've been doing that to yourself and saying that to yourself now. Why can't I just use this as my power? Why can't I use this as my thing? Why can't I keep moving on? You know, old soul, didn't believe you just say you have a teenage soul. Yeah, I am a 50-year-old man trapped in a 5-year-old body with a teenager's attitude. Okay, I am crazy. I have no age. I am unknown. And so do you need to be in this moment. Maybe it's time to accept the silence for a reason. Let me say it again. Maybe you need to accept the silence is for a reason. You have kids? Do you have children? Do you have someone you care like a kid for? Then you will understand what I'm about to say to you next. If you are a woman in this world, you've at least had these thoughts or feelings at least one point in your life. And I kind of think you understand the mom thing very well. So, when that child is in the belly, you don't know what that child is going to be yet. You worry about that child's future. You try to give it all the right nutrients it needs. You don't know from the point it's conceived to the point it comes out, if it even comes out, whether or not it will be a healthy, beautiful boy. Everyone always says, all I want's a healthy baby. That's a lie. They want the beautiful child who has the best medical breakthroughs, that they don't need to worry about being in pain, hurting. Every parent in the world wants the perfect kid that they don't have to worry about. This is not how the world works because we are very aware of what. Yeah, Happy Women's Day, by the way, and I'm kind of pointing that out too. It's Happy Women's Day too. And women of the world understand this feeling because they are creating a new life within themselves. The unknown possibilities of what that could be. You can put as much thought into it. You can put headphones on the belly and let them listen to pretty music, but end up deaf. You can give them all the right nutrients, all the right kind of chemical nutrients they can give. They can end up allergic to peanuts and other things like that that you never introduced them to, okay? Because you never had the craving moment, okay? There's a bunch of things that you can start to make this child do. Part of that nature, part of that nurture, and your body does all of the work. Just like the universe is doing that to you. You're in the fetus room right now, floating around in your little bubble going, oh, what did mom give me today? Okay? You don't ask what kind of nutrients it is. You take it all. You don't ask for what kind of abundance is going to be coming your way. You take it all. You love it. You live it. You breathe it. You start to exist as the idea you see in your head. Igniting the path was just you saying, I'm ready to do it. Now, I have to understand what I want to create. Now I know how to do that. Now I have to do the last and final thing I have yet to do, which is listen to myself. That my gods, the higher power that I believe in, has always had my back. They've always been there for you. They've always been supporting you. They're trying to get you to wield the magic that they are sending your way. Even if it's through trial and tribulation, where it's still the magic or the prayer or answer to the prayer. Yeah, the beautiful thing happened to me today. What a beautiful thing. How do I wield this magic into a manifestation of what I actually want to see my life become? How do I start to listen to those inner voices that are trying to tell me what happy actually means? What these senses and feelings. We're born with instincts for a reason. People forget we are animals, people. Yeah, we call ourselves human, but we're no different than a big-ass cow with a lot lappier, yappier mouths, okay? That's it. We're a big ass cow who knows how to talk and communicate with one another. You don't think cows have their own dialects and they don't have their own language? Okay, I'm sure a cow wonders what the fuck we're saying all the time too. Okay, but that's not the point. The point is you were given the cow in the first place. It's time to milk the cow and turn it into cheese. There's only one place left for you to go, Elka. And you knew it was coming. And you knew it was going to be here. And you're standing on that cliff edge going, I don't think I can do it. Your gods are running up behind you, about to push your ass anyway. You may not have a choice for much longer. They might push you off the cliff rather than waiting for you to take the leap you're supposed to be taking. Let the old life finally die. Let's hold a funeral for it. Let's mourn the loss of that which we don't want in our lives any longer. Not the damage it causes is no longer affecting us because we've let it go into the ground to be returned and renewed into new nutrient kind of life-giving, beautiful fertilizer. But until we allow that old self to start to decay and die and do that process of turning back into the thing it came from, because we all came from the earth, we all will return to the earth. But until we have let go of that part of ourselves, we have to say, I am letting go of the not happy person. I have to let go of the depressed person. I have to let go of the wanting person. I have to let go of the expectation person and all the X, Y's, and Z's of what you think you need to let go of. But then you got to mourn that loss and really mourn it, not just kind of mourn it here, like you were losing a child. And I believe you have lost a child in your life. Whether they never came into this world kind of a way, or they were taken away, or you don't know where they're at in this world kind of a way. And repairing your inner child and your inner soul, you're going to have to move on from that guilt, that hurt, that pain, so that you can become the kind of person you wished would be there for you. You're the mom of yourself here. So now, be a good mom and raise your kid right. And put everything you want into that kid. But remember, that kid has its own thoughts, feelings, and will probably do some stuff you weren't expecting it to do from time to time. And that stuff may surprise you, scare you, and eventually make you love that person even that much longer. So that's what I felt you needed to hear today, my friend. Happy Women's Day to all the women out there. Thank you for being the creators of this world. And thank you for giving me my life, Mom. And thank you for giving my life, Dad. Because it takes two to make that seed grow. And as much as I am a very LGBTQ friendly person, I do understand that biology is biology, sexuality is sexuality, okay? So until men can become pregnant and do it more readily available, and women start saying enough of this shit, you guys are going to be carrying the kids for a while. When we start doing that, then we might understand equal rights here, okay? When the women can do what men can and women can really do what all that other stuff, then we're talking here, okay? So, but that's my personal opinion. I do not, I am not trying to be a person who tells you how to live your life, but I believe that everyone believes equality, no matter what they are, who they are in this world. They deserve to be loved. Even the people who hate other people deserve love. I'm sorry, I wish I couldn't say that, but they still deserve it. At least they love to hate. Savage, throw me your numbers, and I am officially closing the queue down for the remainder of the stream. So if you got your ass in here, you got your ass in here. If you didn't get your ass in here, come back tomorrow. I've got 3 readings left in the queue. Just enough time to take my time with all of them. So I'm closing the queue down, so please let anybody else know. Come back Monday, which we will be having our 5 paths realization party. I'm not doing any special event for it. I'm just doing a normal stream that day, but I'm going to be promoting my deck heavily. So bring your wallets that day. Bring your great bounty that you want to give me that day. All the stuff that you saved up that you wanted to use to benefit somebody else and you want to use it for somebody, that's the day I want you to call it forward, okay? So, 8 and 4. Okay, let me do your cleansing shuffle first there, Savage. So, and I kind of want to have a small smoky break before I get too into your reading here. I got the perfect thing for you too today, Savage. I've got the perfect way for you to be able to do this to yourself, okay? It does require a tiny bit of money. I'd say maybe $20 worth. That's about all you really need is $20 to do this. But it's mostly to pick up supplies to do it. And it's just a very nice way of, I think it would help you. Okay? So, here are your 8 official shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, I knew you weren't getting God cards for this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And and this is exactly what I'm going to tell you to do. So I already knew it was coming, but it's nice to get confirmation once in a while when you're having these pre-thoughts and then the cards say what they say. That was a piece of sausage that fell out of my mouth, folks, in case you weren't paying attention. Oh, a piece of egg almost tried to do it too. That's actually hilarious. Because the words are fighting to get out of my mouth, honestly. Did it work? Of course it worked, because your will and intent said it was going to work. As long as you believe it worked, it will continue to work. Stop doubting that it worked and start to focus on the light you need to be focused on. Now that you've done the cord cutting, what are you bringing together to be your new focal point? What are you using that catalyst for? Because this doesn't work without the flint in it, right? But once we get it lit, I can only hold it so long before that fire or my hand gets like, ouch, I can't hold it down any longer. I've got to put this flame somewhere else. It's only a temporary receptacle for my power. But you know what I got to do is bring all of my power together. All the parts of who I am. My shield work has to come together. My personal belief in myself has to come together. My ambition, drives, dreams, and goals have to come together. My physical, mental, and spiritual balls need to be juggled more appropriately. Rather than 10 physical balls I'm working on, let's try 1. Rather than 20 mental balls in the air, let's try 1. Rather than -2 balls in the air for spiritual, because we're not doing so much of the spiritual work right now, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe 1 ball in the air for spiritual, because you're so focused on that right now that all the other balls are falling to wayside. So you're sitting there playing the old shuffle the ball game, and then someone said, hey, Elka, and you went, oh, and the ball went like, oops, gotta pick these things back up again and learn how to reintegrate them back into my life again, right? I have to be that spark that is what I want now. My power now, my energy now, my destiny now, my thinking now, my what, A, Y, Z, B, D, E. I spark that flame so that now I have light to view the picture I am creating. In most artist world, when they're going out to create any kind of an art, they want the right kind of light. They want the right kind of canvas. They want the right kind of paint. They want the right kind of this, and this. They spend 90% of their time picking out the materials. 10% of that time is the thinking, letting it flow out of you, using your technical skill, blah, 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 all of that stuff. And as we are starting to weave our world and the tapestry of our lives back into what we are wanting to see it become now, is the new thing. We're just starting to make the first kind of threads around the first row. It's a big carpet. We know what it looks like. We know what it's supposed to look like. We know how it's supposed to feel when we're covered by that blanket. We know all of that, why we're designing it the way we're designing it. Now getting that big picture and understanding that the thing that we are seeing is only a reflection of what the work we put into it, right? So now I've got to see my picture for how it truly is. How people view that, it's up to them to decide whether they like my picture or not. But I'm the artist. I know what I put into that. I know what it took to make that happen. I know what it took to get those materials, get the paint, get all of that stuff. And as you start to make that painting happen, you take your car, your paints, your water, your canvas, your brush, your finger, your whatever you need, and you start to drive down the road of life. And as you start to make a little bit more headway and a little bit more headway, you see the end of the path come closer and closer and closer. What you take along with you on the journey is what's important. What music you're listening to, what do you have the windows down? Is it a nice day? Are you enjoying your ride? Do you need gas? Do you need to slow down? Do you need to speed up? Follow the rules of the road that are right for you. You know what the rules of your own life are. Follow the signs that are right in front of you, telling you exactly how fast, slow, and what way to go. Don't be so concerned with it. And if you want to bring someone along the journey, you can. You don't have to. You can take someone along the journey, but you don't have to. It's time to clear the old foundation off, and it's time to set that new save spot, that new stone in the ground where you say, if I go back to a beginning, any beginning, it's this beginning. It's the beginning I said, I'm reading what you just said here. Basically, that was purity because I finally talked with God and believing that I move on and lead on with my path, love of Dobby. So actually, I really have been focal point on my Dobby. Basically, I was in a position to rebuild. I understood that my energy wasn't sufficient yet. I had to cancel a contract of a past tower to focus on rebuilding this building. And that's what I'm saying is that even in your mundane life, it's kind of they're taking you along this journey as you rebuild what you built in life as far as real world game time versus the what we do in our head kind of building versus the manifestation of it actually happening and coming to pass when we see that we've done the work and it pays off in the end. Now we're seeing what that looks like, and now at least you know you've got that spot that if you're going to go back to a bottom, you know where bottom's at now. And just kind of making you aware that, that confirming that things worked out. And what should you choose to try to purify your energy is that it's the clearing of the, like I said, the integration and bringing the things together. That's how you purify yourself. Use what has been given to you to brighten the soul of your life. Make sure what you can handle, only handle that much you can handle. Make that be the picture you show yourself and others until you're ready to reveal what it's to the general at large. Let it be between you and the close number of friends who understand what you're trying to create. Then be ambitious about it. Don't just sit there and try to walk a long marathon of a walk. Go after what you want. Get in the car, drive to that location, and then set that new foundation down. It's just a validation after validation after validation for you. And that's basically what I feel that you needed was that validating moment that I'm on the right track, I'm on the right path, things are going pretty much the way I see them going, and I just want to know I'm seeing the right signs, I'm catching the right wave, I'm choosing the right path, because we always question, did I make the right choice, blah blah blah. You made the choice you made. You couldn't have made any other choice than the choice you already did. Walking Dead from Negan himself. Okay, that's a quote. And I'm just saying. He says to Maggie, when she decides to go after a woman who's got a community of killers, basically, she has to play the Negan card and do exactly to them what Negan once did to her. And it's a very surreal moment for Maggie because in the Walking Dead series, Negan took her husband's life away from him. Her, right? She was tasked with taking away everybody else's family away from somebody else. So she did exactly what Negan did to her, she did to somebody else, and it didn't really set very well in there. So, yeah, well, then he says that, when he finally comes back over, realizing what he's done is wrong, what he's done, and he's paid the price of living in a prison for 7 years, and finally wanting to die and being with his wife Lucille and not wanting to continue with this world anymore. And Maggie looks at a broken Negan and says, there's no way I'm killing you. This is way better than any killing you. You know what I'm saying? This is how I feel. Damn you, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of dying. You know what I'm saying? And then he comes back and he says these words. Okay. You're always going to do what you were going to do. There's nothing else you could have ever done. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Negan was always going to smash Glenn in the head and pop his eye out. Was always going to kill Abraham. Was always going to end up in that jail wishing he could die too. You know what I'm saying? But he put himself in his own damn cage too. He created his own mess too. So, Empress, thank you for popping in today. It's your turn for your reading. As we get ready to end our stream, 2 more readings left to go, guys. And then we'll be reading out to somebody out there. I haven't even looked at who's out there right now. I've been too busy today, so I kind of felt like today was... And I want to share my story before we go, too. So if you guys want to hang out for my magical moment I had this morning, stay to the end of the stream, and I will share that magical moment with you guys. So, and hey, TC, if you're still around, we'll share that project or thing I want you to do later. Go self-care yourself right now, because I can feel your energy dropping, and empathy. Earthly Empress, welcome on in. First time, I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen you, I think. So, Earthlies, if you don't remember how it works here, just let me know you need to be reminded, or look up in the pinned message. That pretty much explains most of it there. And then we are going to, so as I like to say, throw me your numbers if you need to know what that means. 1 through 10 is your shuffle number. 1 through 52 is your answer number. And cards, when they pop out of your deck, you pop out of the deck, when they do happen, when I'm shuffling, those are God cards. I will let you know if you get those today. It has to be under a certain amount of cards for them to count, though. So that's how it works here. Ask your question as generally or as simply as possible so I can understand what you're asking, basically. Or just say, I want a general reading. Whichever you need today, you let me know. So that's how it works here, in case you've forgotten. I'm going to have a nice little smoke break and just enjoy this cigarette before I do your reading. So I kind of just need to take a 1 or 2 puff spoon release here thingy for. I do recognize when my energy starts to drop too, guys. And I had breakfast, and I know it's not a hunger issue, so it's a psychic issue. And my candle's doing its best to stay lit. All right, we want to know how the person with the letter P feels about us. Okay. Let me first do you a favor by cleansing these cards off of all the previous readings, giving you a nice, clean, healthy, clear reading, getting the energy on those cards for you, cleansing them of all those other past nickies and ickies from the last reading, or messages you don't need to hear anymore. So here are your messages, and I just shuffle them until I feel they're ready. And here are your 6 official shuffles. 1, 2, 3. Too many. 3, 4. I knew you were going to have one. If not more than one soon. Okay, you see how hard these are trying to pop out of my hand now? We're only on number 4 here. We got 2 more shuffles to go. 1 and 2. Okay, well, you got 1 at least. They're just trying to tell me. Whenever the cards try to do that kind of running, it usually means this one's going to kick some serious spiritual ass. So I kind of want to warn you ahead of time that this is probably going to be hurt a tiny bit. So I hope you're ready for that. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and the 23rd card is now on top. Are we ready, Empress? Okay, good. She says, okay. We're going to get going on what we feel about P here. Or how P feels about us, more accurately, right? So, how does P feel about you? Well, kind of checking in with him a little bit here with the energies that you're seeking with P here. And, there's some work to be done. And you both kind of have to throw away a little bit of the old bad pattern shit you were doing with each other. There's not a lot of work to be done here, but there is work to be done here. It kind of feels like more communication, a little bit more open, and a little bit more vulnerable on both ends here. It kind of feels like you both have a little bit of that bad old baggage left to let go of, that you kind of are trying to slowly let it work out of your life and find that way to let it drop in off of your shoulders. But you don't want to not just drop it off. It was important to you that you learned what you needed to learn the last time. You want to use it as fuel for your fire now. With you and P, what you've been through is just fuel for the fire. Love is not about love 100% of the time. It's more about how we make it through the hard times, how we make it through the times when we feel lost, how we make it through the times when we do feel broken, how we do make it through as a couple when we are confused, worried, upset, mad, all those other words that we can put in its place here, right? And we need to start to stoke those fires of the passion that once was. But until we're ready to burn away the old crap and let it really go and forgive and forget on both parties and move forward, I don't know if that's really in the cards quite yet. It kind of feels like you guys have a lot of personal shit to take care of before you're really ready for a deeper connecting relationship. And I don't know if this has been the worry that you've been having lately. That's what I'm feeling, at least, And the thing you have to realize, at least on your part, okay? On his part, what is he thinking or feeling about you right now? Feels like you're kind of doing that. Trying to burn away some of the old crap to add it to be the better benefit of both of you. So he sees you doing the work. He also sees you trying to be that positive person too by saying, we're doing this as a team. We're adding this to our fire. And this isn't your fire anymore. It's your fire. Both of your fires. There is no I fire anymore. There's a we fire now. Now how it grows and how we make it become stronger is what we add to it. We have to start to allow the stuff that wasn't important in the first place, never was important in the first place, all the small bickering, arguing, talking, whatever it was that you thought was the whole big issue in the first place, it's time to either let it go and accept him for who he is, or let him go. And let this part of him not being the person you want him to be die. Let that expectation die today. Let your expectations of him die. Let him be who he is. Appreciate and love who he is, just like he's learning how to love and appreciate you. You're both learning how to throw away the stuff that you don't need. But it's not just being used to throw it away like it's never going to be useful again. You've burned away the ash of the fire, and that carbon goes into that little garden and helps it grow. Guess what? Oh, that thing we left in our compost pile for months and months on end when we were just letting life happen. Oh, look, it turned into much needed beneficial fertilizer, too. Helps our growing grow even better. Now we need to stop contemplating every bad choice we've ever made and start saying, what good choices can we make now? And that's the thing, is stop worrying and contemplating it like it's the end of the world. If he was gonna leave, he'd done it by now. Okay? If he didn't want to be in your life, he would have already been gone. If he's been gone, he's gonna stay gone because he doesn't know what you're going through. He doesn't understand. You have to show him what you've been doing to work on yourself. You are creating a new idea. You're creating the right kind of tools to make you be the person you want yourself to be. That heat that you put, that forge that you had to get red hot, this was designed to do it for a reason. We had to burn away the old expectation, blah, 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 and allow that decay to go into that forge as well so that we could put the new metal in there so that we could take it out and start to shape it into what we see it becoming. What do we need to make to protect this like a shield? What do we need to make to defend it together as one? What do we need to drink from each other's cup or ask each other to empty out of their own? What fan can I control of my own life and what can't I control of theirs? And make those tools be the relationship starting things that get you going to that next stage. Now, like I said, I don't know where you're at in this journey quite yet, because it kind of feels like there's a hidden undertone of not knowing, like the wonder is only stopping you from finding out. The more you wonder, the more you want to keep waiting for the answer to come to you, the more you're going to keep wondering. You're getting stuck in your own head a little bit. You're alone without being lonely. You know, you have this lone, I feel lone and lost feeling or something like that. Is that accurate at all, Empress? And I do have a God card message for you too. Okay. So it's kind of something that, along those lines, and it just feels like I think you're teetering on the decision that maybe this guy may just have a little bit too much work to do right now. Maybe somewhere in the future part. Well, I don't get everything right. Do you want your God card? Yes or no? Since I guess yeah. Well, then, I guess you've known your answer for a while, but you guys kind of just need to be told that. And I use this very rarely since you've ever been here, between not a realistic connection between that person. Yeah. And maybe just coming to that acceptance is enough. That realizing that there's nothing else there for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the closure you need to move on. So that you can find real love. The make you crazy, insane kind of love. The real thing you've been craving. Crazy, insane, beautiful, cosmically wonderful love. And I'm just waiting on one more time. I will ask you this one last time, and I'm putting it away. Do you want to see your God card? Last time. So, story time. My wife is one of the more stubborn women in this world, but she's her own worst enemy. She spends a lot of time down in what I like to call the sea of her life, trying to navigate around all of her issues rather than dealing with them head on. She likes to lay in the grass and let things just bowl over her rather than fight against them. She doesn't like confrontation. She doesn't like of a lot of people before me screwed her in life, and she trust and loved people without question, but some of that garbage kind of got into her a little bit over the years, you know what I'm saying? And my wife, being the kind of person who's very stuck in her ways and doesn't know how to move past some of the things. Like when whales are down in the ocean, they are swimming around a lot of different things. They're huge ass creatures. You think it's a big ass ocean, but to that whale, it's like a fishbowl to that whale. It's not big to that whale. It's never been big to whale. That's its home. You know, that's its fishbowl. How far it goes in the fishbowl or what side of the fishbowl it goes to, well, you know, might be a delay. So, but my wife did something good in her life. She finally found the joy in her life once again. Instead of swimming around all the obstacles in her life, she swam through them. She swam through them so fast she got a running jump and came out of that earth surface of that floor down where the problems were and came up for that new breath of life, which she hadn't been doing a lot in her life. She would spend way too much time trying to navigate around things. She came up for even the basic necessary breath of life of air in her lungs. You know what I'm saying? So she had to learn how to relearn to re-embrace her joy again. That's why she calls herself Whale's Joy, because she wasn't doing this alone anymore. She had a new pod, a new person who was going to help her. I wasn't there to fix her. I was there to be with her. She had her issues. I accepted for her for who she was. You know, it took a lot of inner strength and a lot of being the person that I am to just love her unconditionally the way I do. But if you don't think we had to work at it a tiny bit here and there, we did. You know what I'm saying? And it was all about the active listening we did with one another, learning how to come up for that fresher breath of air in the lungs, finding the joy in the moment and every day, finding a new reason to be happy. She finally did that in her life, and her life became more positive. But before that, she didn't know how to do that. She took me to point out something she already knew, that she was just like a whale who refused to come up for whale. Spending no time around people would keep her safe and remind her to do that. And she was suffocating herself to death, you know? And that's kind of what I feel like you're doing with this person, is you're suffocating yourself to death a little bit. And you don't need it in your life. Go find the joy, go find the happy. That's what you need. I don't know if that answers your question from your higher power or not. And if you have a significant other that you need to say your piece to, let's just say it. Okay? It's better to open those lines of communication and get it out rather than hold it in any longer, if that's appropriate to the situation. So, Phantom, you are my last and final reading for today. And I did have a little story I wanted to share after stream, or a little bit like a 10-minute story. So, you know, but I'm going to see where Phantom is. It's your turn. Throw me your numbers and or question. Shuffling is in progress for your reading. Cleansing cards are coming right now. What was the card? Whale's Joy. Do I need to go over it again? Did you hit an ad or something and you didn't get a chance to tell me? The card was Whale's Joy. My wife's card, basically. Let's see. I don't even know where she is right now. She's in here somewhere. Getting closer. It was this card. This was your card. Okay? Now that I've gotten that done, One more time, shuffling again for a cleansing shuffle, just because I had to do that real quick. All right, and here we go with your 8 official and last shuffles of the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. No God cards for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last 4 cards of today. And my special announcement is that on Monday we're going to be doing a kind of a celebration of saying, hey, we're trying to accomplish my goal of publishing my deck that day. So it's going to be a very promoting stream, my deck stream. So we might not be taking as many readings on Monday. I'm going to be promoting the deck. Yes, I'm going to be doing a journey layout during that time. I'm going to be showcasing and showing off the cards, what they look like, kind of revealing maybe some of the meanings and stuff like that to you. So it's kind of probably be mostly a just chatting stream on Monday. So that's the last day before my Kickstarter campaign ends. I believe on the 12th, if I don't reach the goal by the 11th at whatever time, midnight I believe it is, that all the money that was supposed to be promised for that project goes back to the people who are investing in it in the first place. If they paid for it in advance, at least. You know what I'm saying? If they just promised they would pay it if I met the goal, then of course that's what's happening. So that's my exciting news. And then we'll tell the little story after this reading if you want to stick around for that, okay? And then, of course, we're going to go find someone to raid and throw a lot of love their way. So I would really appreciate you sticking around and lurking for the next person I go show love to, because we're supportive community members here. So, okay. We're going to wait here. I'm going to get everything out of the way so we can see the cards nice and clear, okay? Can we see them? Here, let me even turn down it so you can see the words a little bit better. Can we see them better now? Okay. So, we want to know a general reading about what lies ahead in the near future. The first thing is that you already kind of have an inkling of what is kind of coming down the tailpipe. You've been preparing for this moment for a while. You're kind of starting to see the very beginnings of that soup of life you've been creating, because you kind of had to empty out the old soup. It wasn't serving you any purpose. We really don't need to go down the path of telling you know what that meant to you and how you needed to get rid of it. You're fully aware that had to end. You had to stop letting people control you, stop letting people try to put and manipulate you to be who they wanted them to be and stuff like that. Yeah, out with the old, in with the new, basically, is it. And now you've been picking up the right kind of ingredients that are going to serve you and your purpose, right? So you're going around saying, what does my life need now that's going to make me feel fulfilled and purposeful? Because when you eat a meal, it makes you feel full. It makes you feel warm and happy, maybe even a little tired. Fat puppy syndrome sets in depending on how much you eat. How little you eat makes you feel hungrier or whatever. But what you are putting into the soup of your life now, that you are the one cooking the soup, not the one being cooked, right? It tastes a little bit better now that we're not a part of the recipe that's making up what we want to put in ourselves. We let other people try to put into our soup of life for a while. We thought that's what we needed. That didn't work out so great. Now, let's put the right kind of ingredients in. But now we've kind of gotten to the end of the tasting portion of the soup. We've gotten to a nice fine-tuned recipe. We're adjusting the flavors a little bit, but there comes a point where we have to say, it's good enough the way it is. And that's where we're at right now. So what does, Spirit and all of this other stuff want you to know what's coming for you in your future? you finally reaching that stage of maturity within yourself where you see your past as the roots that it took to get you where you are now. That you're seeing that those roots still take in the right kind of nutrients, that you're providing it, that you still have a lot of connection in this world, that you're firmly planted, you're not going anywhere this time, because you damn well won't be unrooted this time by anybody else or any other thing, right? But you know you still have a little bit of growth left to go. You're not kidding yourself here. You're fully aware that there are still some things you're always going to be continually working on, but they're not so overwhelming you can't deal with them either. You are just trying to reach that stage where you say, I am good enough who I am. I like the flavor of my life right now. Let me just consume this for a while. Let me extinguish the old fire that was feeding the old soup. The old pot still there cooking on the fire because I haven't finished cleaning the bowl out yet. It's starting to smell bad. It's starting to stink. It's starting to decay and start to smell icky in our lives. So we have to go and say, what don't I need still in my life? What is causing me these blocks and chains and things that I do need to start to face? What fires do I need to start looking at? Are these serving me any purpose anymore? Or do I need to move on from these things? And that's readjusting your path to what you want. Now that you know more of who you are, now we're adjusting the path to meet a new need rather than filling the want of the world, right? So why are we going through all of that? Because just as you have understood, even though you do know you are very put together and have more growth to go, you still are reaching a maturity level where you're understanding what that means. So even though your mind, body, and soul is telling you all of this, the mundane part of you. We have an ad. Give me a second. After these messages, we'll be right back. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, and okay, it looked like I had an ad break. I just wanted to make sure I took a minute to stop and make sure you were still here for the whole reading. So, like I said, this great oak portion of the journey, right, is that you're coming to that realization that where you're at now has been what's been driving you to the more secure part, because this is the end of the journey, right? But you already feel like you kind of completed one big thing, but still have much growth to go. But the reason you're going through all of this is because there is that stage of maturity, still becoming aware of that. And that's kind of what I'm feeling for you as well, is that preparation part that was useful. Now you're using the tools. Soup is made. Let's eat. Now I have soup. I still feel like the recipe is good enough. So now I need to start to give my soup away and see how people like its taste. Boom. Now that I've done that, I know that not everyone's going to like my soup. I know that maybe even once in a while, I might not like my soup because maybe I left it out in the cold too long or I didn't warm it up long enough, because it is a constantly evolving thing. It's never expires. It never goes bad unless you let it go bad. So how do I do that? I realize I'm where I need to be, where I need to be, how I need to be. My destiny is manifest. My purpose is clear. I am exactly where I need to be. And the only thing coming for you now is the unknown possibilities that are yet to come. So, what is it coming for you in your future? Some change, some growth, maybe even some self-discovery if you really want it. But you're the conductor of this symphony. What notes do you want to add in there? Maybe there'll be a sour note or two, but that doesn't mean the whole symphony has to go bad because of a sour note. Sometimes that's what makes it even more beautiful. because your 5-year-old made the real bad squeak in the audience that let you know that was your daughter. You know what I'm saying? So, story time. Story time for all those who have stuck around for story time. So, if you guys were waiting for I told you at the end of the stream I would share an experience I had this morning, and I kind of really wanted to talk about it because it really profoundly affected me this morning. When people ask me how I do what I do sometimes, okay, and what I feel or see in my head, or how do I best describe how I get the messages and stuff like that, right? And stuff like that. That's been a pretty big part of who I am as a person. I'm looking for validation too, guys. I'm looking for acceptance too. I have an ego. I have wants. I have needs. You know, I am getting something out of this. I'm getting time out of my day where I am getting to express my voice, my soul, my everything to all of you, right? We're all human, right? Well, I was watching a movie this morning thinking about where I'd been coming up to this point, right? It's a movie called Spaceman on Netflix. I highly recommend this movie, but if you're not a big fan of spiders, I would avoid the movie, okay? So if you're an arachnophobic, this is not the movie that will be the touchy-feely thingy unless you're ready to get over your fear of spiders. It's just the creature in the movie. It's a really good film. And there's a point in this film, right, where he's dancing or he's floating in what is called the beginning. And Noctu starts, the character who's the biggest spider named Noctu, or doesn't really have a name until almost the very end. But anyway, you know, he doesn't really have a name, but okay, let him, it was easier for him. He was always tall, skinny man, never what his actual name was. He never called him by his name. He always called him tall, skinny man. And it was kind of a few things. But he's floating around in space, right? And as they start to both enter the beginning, right, the spider's life begins to end because a parasite at the beginning of the universe that was a part of the primordial makeup of the universe, because everything that must be destroyed must be created in the universe. And when that parasite finally did enough hatching, it dissolved the spider and started a new cycle of life. That spider was home and host for the entirety of time up to that point, since the beginning, it said. So, you know what I'm saying? So it had an understanding. It's seen this before, but never was brave enough to go check it out. It tried to escape, just like it tried to escape. And as it was starting to float around in space, it starts to say something about the explanation of the universe and the beginning, right? And in this movie, it's so eloquently put and so eloquently put into form what I see in my head on a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week kind of a thing. So when I'm telling you that I'm filtering out a lot of this shit, it's like living in the beginning all the damn time for me. I actually have to filter most of that out to hear what I need to hear for you. Now, my guys and the people who are in communication with me are just like that spider trying to give me the right kind of information to get through. They're my totems. They're the thing to be that bridge between me and the beginning, because the beginning is a life form too. The beginning is the start, the beginning. I mean, and it was just a very trippy film. And there was a part where he starts to flash back to his past, right? Where the girlfriend that he left behind because he had to escape his abusive father, because he always felt lost and alone, but always felt like he had to run away from his problems and never faced or saw anything other than those problems. And then he's taken through this journey on self-discovery of having to deal with these, and this spider sees the pain of the man. And I'm thinking, I've been through that shit, right? Yeah, it was a very explanatory film. And so you understand what I'm talking about. It hit me like a fucking ton of bricks this morning, because that's exactly how I think of my spiritual self. I consider myself just like the universe, only I call myself the unknown prophet, because I don't think I'm that grandiose to call myself the beginning, but the unknown prophet's kind of an ego kick too, right? So in the movie, when that happened, I'm sitting there bawling my eyes out because I have father issues. Me and my father didn't always get along. Me and my wife haven't always had the most strongest relationship. So that came into play. My journey, my path, my destiny, the reason I felt so alone for so long. All of that shit. And I'm sitting there going, like a 3-year-old watching his favorite, toy go into the trash. And it was just such a surreal moment for me. And when you're an intuitional person like I am, when the universe gives you a sign and you pay attention to the sign and you get the message, it was like the universe and the gods that I believe in was basically saying, here's this movie to tell you exactly what we can't put into words. Someone did it better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I love those films that really speak to you like that. But that's my personal connection. And it was the whole journey of the whole story. It wasn't just, oh, I found this spider. First, is it real? Is this thing really here? It doesn't want me to touch it, right? So how do I know this thing is really here in my presence? I'm imagining this. I'm crazy. These are the thoughts and feelings I had growing up. Having all those thoughts, having these images in my head, seeing them when I can't show this to anybody, what I see. You know what I'm saying? It's as real as that spider to me. That spider was real, by the way, okay? It was a real alien creature. That apparently, according to the movie, it was supposed to be, at least. It wasn't an imaginary thing. The beginning, however, was an intangible thing that couldn't be held. Because it had already done its job. It had started the beginning. All it was an echo. Echo of what was. Everything that ever happened. Everything that ever would be. Everything that would never ever happen. And we talk about destiny, fate, and all the other shit, and free will, and predetermination, and what am I here to do, and all of that stuff. Think about it, folks. If the universe already planned it all out for us anyway, right? Is there anything you can do wrong with your life? It's already been planned out for you. You're just following, you're just Mario, and they've got the controller, okay? Profit out! Alright, guys. Let's do the all-important job now of, let's go find someone to raid to. Any suggestions that you want to throw my way there? Phantom? Otherwise, we'll go find one of my friends that may or may not be on. I got him a couple of times. Let's see if somebody else is on there. Ooh, you guys want another excellent tarot reader? I've got a tarot reader. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Honestly, I saw her on and I was thinking, you know what? Kind of want to send you guys with a nice feel good. I definitely recommend Tarot Mama to anybody else who is out there as a streamer, as a person who's gotten a reading from her. She's on point. She has a different style than me, but she's just as damn accurate, guys. And I don't say that lightly. I believe she's one of the better readers out there. Sometimes I think she's even a little bit better than me, honestly. But that's me not having a really healthy ego, and I'm very humble about my gifts, I know. But so, she's solid. She's got a different way of going about it. She has a different way of doing her readings than I do. Of course, we all got our own new, different, unique ways of doing things. But, it's all about the, things. And since Lady Cleo's going to be in the... I can't get my song for a while. I guess we'll have to go here. We went to her yesterday anyway. So we're going to shout out my Tarot Mama. I don't need a reading today, so I'm not going to stick around too long. Since I already know you like her, I will say follow her if you guys haven't followed Tarot Mama. She's an excellent tarot reader. She has a very, very positive eye. She used multiple decks. She has a very laid back. She is your Tarot Mama. She's there to be your mom through this and help and guide you and nurture you into a better path. I highly recommend her. Go check her out. Drop her a follow. Drop her a like. If you guys are a non-subscriber, use Raid 1. If you guys are a subscriber, use Raid 2. If you're toasty as hell and you want to smoke some green, like me, press exclamation point Raid Green. So Raid 1 is for non-subscribers, Raid 2 is for subscribers, Raid Green is for if you're toasty as fuck. Okay? So whichever one you want to use, I'm going to use the old number 2. And no, I don't mean it like that. So in case, go copy and paste that. It should look a little bit more like this rather than that command, but if you copy and paste it, it does it, right? It just doesn't like the code. Okay. Or maybe that's supposed to be my subscriber one, and that's not. Okay, I guess number 1 is my subscriber, number 2 is my non-subscriber. I goofed up. Whatever. Copy and paste that if you guys want. That is my raid message. If you guys want, copy and paste that. We're going to go put that into the chat of the Tarot Mama. We're going to get this raid party along the way. And we are going to go give some much needed love and appreciation to our favorite mama. That's right, Tarot D Mama. So I will see you guys tomorrow, Monday. I will see you tomorrow. I'm working on my deck this weekend, so I probably won't be spending a lot of time with people. I'll probably be taking a lot of little breaks because I gotta get this done, guys. So I gotta get the words done. I've got a goal to try to finish it by Monday, so we'll see. At least I have 1 page left if I'm done. Before I'm done, and it's not like it's a lot of words here. Okay, it's only 84 meanings. I've already got like 10 of them done. Okay, so I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. We started at something. We started at something. Bye. I'll see you later. Goodbye. We'll see you later. Goodbye. I'll see you later. I have to raid someone right now.